at 1, and then resume at 2, just briefly, and then adjourn.
Okay, fine. I mean, it's
If
part of his duties.
yes.
So there's nothing the court can do but to support that arrangement.
Then the second point, my lord, just to correct the record.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Advocate Nisi put it to Brigadier Gininda
Yeah.
that he was not being candid with the court when he answered to his question that the section 205
Yes.
of accused number 3 for the number 07276686169 covering the period when the offense was committed,
Yeah.
when he testified that this information, the section 205 for that period covering October 2014,
No, not available.
was made available to him fairly recently.
Yeah.
When this trial was underway.
Yeah.
We maintained yesterday, my lord, that Advocate Mnisi is mistaken, and we say this with the greatest of respect. We mentioned that this information became available just before Ms. Faithillingham testified,
Yes.
and we have had a look at the record. On the 15th of May 2024, on page 1 of the record, line 18, we address the court as follows. Then, when we adjourned at the previous occasion, we indicated that we have received the call-related data of accused 3, which we then shared with our colleagues. That Colonel Hose then went and compiled a further affidavit arising from the call data of accused number 3, and that that morning of the 15th of May, we had finished the additional statement of Colonel Hose. And when we look, and there are emails available between us and Ms. Faithillingham on the 8th of May 2024, wherein we request the call-related data of accused number 3.
Yeah, just put that on record because Mr. Mnisi says you gave that information long time ago when he was preparing for the case, meaning before July last year.
Yeah, on the 8th of May 2024, Dr. Sibanda writes an email to me asking that Ms. Faithillingham should forward to the section 25 of Guideline Nube, number 07276686169, and saying he wants to, or that we need to zoom in on the movements of accused number 3 on the 26th of October 2014. I then sent on the same day, 8 May 2024, an email to Ms. Pinky Faithillingham and asking her to share the section 25 or call-related data of Nube accused number 3 so that we can scrutinize his movement at the time of the commission of the offense. As I say, this is all happening on the 8th of May 2024, and we have the emails to prove that. Then we mentioned yesterday that Exhibit G1 covers the period, and this we see on the cover page of Exhibit G1. It says the nature of the information required. This is now the, it's a subpoena in terms of section 205 that is addressed to Vodacom. It is mentioned by the investigating officer in that case on the 5th of March 2015. He says the nature of the information required from Vodacom is as follows. It says the MSISDN profile, RICA ownership information, tower information, IMEI profile and billing from 23 October 2014 to 25 January 2015 of this number 0727668169. This is now the period that Brigadier Gininda mentioned that we did not have information for this specific period, and for which he was then labeled as being, and I'm not going to repeat the word, but implying that he's less than candid with the court. Further on, in Exhibit G1, there's an affidavit of Ms. Fathillingham, wherein she states in paragraph 7, this certifies that Vodacom has received a subpoena in terms of section 205 from the South African Police Service, and she gives the reference number GP JHB for Johannesburg 50/3/2015, Phosphorus CAS 103/12/2014, and the investigating officer is Constable Dlamini. Then when we look at Exhibit D in brackets 5C, this is now the affidavit of Lieutenant Colonel Halls, that he had to amend after receiving this additional information as per Exhibit G in brackets 1. This we see in Exhibit DD5 in bracket C, paragraph 3. He says on 8 May 2024, this is now the date to which email correspondence between us and Ms. Fathillingham refers. And he says, I was contacted by Brigadier Gininda from Cold Case Unit to assist on the analysis of section 25 of Phosphorus CAS 63610/2014. And he says on 9 May 2024, I received a sealed forensic bag with seal number PA 50013094432 from Sergeant Mohola, Mark Phosphorus 63610/2014 murder. The bag was not opened and or tampered with. And he says he opened the forensic bag and it had 2 DVDs marked Johannesburg 50/3/2015. This is the reference, my lord, that appears on Exhibit G1. Yeah. And he says the intention and scope of this analysis and request from the investigator was to determine the following: if there were any communication between this number of accused number 3072766869 and the other accused before court. So in brief, Lieutenant Colonel Ho says he received this additional information, as a result of which he then had to amend his affidavit. We therefore submit, my lord, that the very serious assertion that Advocate Nisi made against Brigadier Gininda was unfounded and unjustified, and we submit, my lord, that that assertion ought to be withdrawn. As the court pleases.
Yes, Mr. Minister.
As it is the court, my lord. My lord, if I were state, I would actually not be pursuing this line of argument because simply it exposes the inefficiency in the nature of the investigation in this case. And I'm going to request the court to listen to me as it did when the state was making their own submission. Number one, the reason why I'm saying that, my lord, in 2015, accused number one's phone gets confiscated. Subsequent thereto, they are able to get some downloads from his phone. Same phone that is confiscated in 2015. In 2020, accused number 3 and others get arrested. This case, it's got an investigating officer, a team of investigating officers that are assisted by prosecutors. None of those members having it in their mind that, look, because in 2015, accused number 3's phone was confiscated when we were able to get some downloads in the very same phone. When they were investigating this case, we were able to get some downloads in this phone which talk about the date of the 26th of October 2014. Let us also check his movement or the movement of his phone on that particular day through the section 205. They don't do that, my lord. Now they want to make a meal out of the fact that I've said that this information was made available even before the inception of the trial. That is not the point. The point has got to do with the quality of investigation of this case. But as I'm saying, if I prosecute, I will not be pursuing that argument, my lord. But nonetheless, as to whether or not that information was received at the inception of the trial or later on through the testimony of Mrs. Vittilingam, is neither here nor there. What is important is what is contained in that section 205. Because whether it was made available at the inception of the trial or it is made available through the testimony of Mrs. Vittilingam where the matter has already started, I don't think the information would have changed. That is all that this court needs to decide on whether that information bears some kind of relevance insofar as accused person's involvement, accused number 3's involvement in this case is concerned, my lord. All these other issues are just collateral issues which will actually not assist this court in the determination that this court will want to, that this court needs to do, my lord. Thank you very much.
Advocate Nisi cannot run away from this simple fact and is trying to distract from the real issues. He made this very serious allegation yesterday when it's not about the investigation at all. Brigadier Gininda testified yesterday that he received Exhibit G1 fairly recently when this trial was underway, and Advocate Nisi then branded him. The term that he used is dishonest. Now, we are showing that he's incorrect in that regard. Now, instead of just accepting that as far as that narrow aspect is concerned, he might have been mistaken. This information was not made available then. The only information that was made available at the time, as we made the point yesterday, was data from the 14th of November 2014. And Brigadier Gininda testified that they did try to get hold of the call-related data for accused number 3, but that they were given only call-related data from the 14th of November 2014, and we have submitted proof in this regard, and that is the information on which Colonel Stein Stein.
Oh, Stein, yeah.
Yeah, Stein based his his affidavit on. Now, yesterday, Advocate Nisi undertook to go to his chambers and to find this Exhibit G1. He came back and said he couldn't find it. Now, all we are saying, my lord, is that it was unfair and uncalled for to brand Brigadier Gininda as being dishonest when all this information indicates that indeed this information was obtained after the 8th of May 2024. That is the crux of the matter.
So, Mr. Nisi, you don't admit that you made a mistake by branding the brigadier as incorrect when he said he only found the section 205 of accused number 3 at the time, just after Ms. Pingi telling him it testified or was testifying.
I'm not so sure whether, my lord, whether I use the word
Okay,
incorrect.
fine. We're going to waste time. The court apologizes for you on any judgment which was said to have been cast on you that you are dishonest in making that statement. Okay? Right, let's begin. Yes,
Thank you, my lord. Brigadier, there is one aspect that I wish to converse from you before I proceed with my cross-examination. The issue of the warning statements. Were you able to secure them? Because yesterday you said they were not available. The reason why I want to know is because I also want to go through the warning statements.
Yes, indeed, my lord. So what I was able to find, and I've made bundles. I've made 8 copies, my lord, so that in the event it must go to the court, the state prosecutor and the defense, they can share this. And I do have indeed a confirmation that these warning statements are different compared to the booklet that was referred to. So the first bundle that I have is coming from Crafrinet. And this warning statement, my lord, I can indicate that they were obtained last week. One of my members was conducting investigation in the Western Cape, and I asked her to pass Lieutenant Colonel Road in those stations and see what warning statements can he get that they are using. So the booklets, we've made copies of the booklet, meaning the one that Advocate Mnisi was referring me to, which is part of the warning statement. But the bundle that differs, which I will deal with, the first one is from Crafrinet. So I've made 8 copies, which is different from the previous one.
Kulokho ke bekuceliwe-ke ngaphambi kwalokho-ke simdlule njelana-ke udaba belusadingidwa-ke udaba lwayizolo-ke la u-Advocate Mnisi kukhona-ke akushilo-ke la kuyena-ke ubrigadier umbuso usuyavela-ke manje uthi-ke banama-emails abanawo atshengisayo ukuthi kwakungeyi-8 zikaMeyi kuwona lo nyaka uma-ke uDr Sibanda ecela yena-ke u-Advocate Baloyi ukuthi akhulume naye-ke uPinky Vitelingam mayelana nalo-ke lolu daba lolu. So bebecela nje ukuthi-ke kuloko bekushilo-ke u-Advocate Mnisi ukuthi-ke akaxoliseke ngoba kuyatholakala ukuthi lokho akushilo bekungasilona iqiniso, kodwa-ke kwenzekanga ngaleyo ndlela bengithi nje angidluleke lapho. Kulama warning statements-ke bekhulunyiwe ngawo-ke uyasho-ke ubrigadier ukuthi-ke uza kwabo-ke ebesaye ngale-ke entshonalanga koloni noma-ke e-Western Cape undlulileke kunendawo okuthiwa i-Grafreinet eGafu ila athole khona-ke amanye uwenzile amakhophi uzonikeza-ke ngawo ukuthi-ke bawabone, okusho ukuthi-ke lama warning statements ebeceliwe kuthiwa-ke kusetshenziswa ahlukile akhona-ke manje.
The second one, my lord, is from Takama police station, Damascop, but it's Takama police station, which is also different. I've also made same bundles, my lord.
Alandelayo-ke ebuya-ke ku-police station kubhalwe la Damascop.
Then the other bundle is from Boysens, which is in Johannesburg, south of Johannesburg, also different. I've also made bundles for these copies, my lord.
Alandelayo ibuya-ke ku-police station yase-Boysens eseGoli nayo-ke ihlukile amakhophi akhona.
The fourth bundle is from Ennerdale, which is also south of Johannesburg. It's also different.
Nalena-ke ihlukile yona-ke ibuya e-Ennerdale.
And then the other one, which is completed, I took it, my lord, for the ease of reference. It's from Nelspruit, which is in Mpumalanga, my lord.
Bese kuthi elandelayo-ke ibuya yona-ke eNaspoti eseMpumalanga.
So in essence, my lord, I've got 6 different warning statements. If you take the one that I was referred to, it will make them the 7 bundle. So these are different from different stations. If you take the 3M one that I was referred to as being the only warning statement, it will make the 7th one. So I've got the copies, my lord, 6 of them.
Okay, here, Mr. Copies. So what will be this exhibit number, Mr. Baloyi?
So just one other question. My lord, in the meantime, we'll be receiving the warning statements.
We'll try and keep them together with
Yeah, but let's have copies in the meantime.
ZZ, yes.
And we can
Dr. Sibanda is
work on the
busy just
annotations thereafter.
sorting them out.
Oh, I see, okay.
They will be in the ZZ series.
Maybe one still that is still being done. The issue of the standing orders, Brigadier, did you manage to bring the standing orders?
No, I didn't, my lord, but I spoke to the policy section, my lord, so I'm trying to establish who's going to assist us, either from the policy section or the legal services with that aspect, so we can deal with it, I think, maybe in a day or two, my lord, once I get a person who is competent to speak to that division, my lord.
mayelana-ke naloko kubizwa ukuthi-ke ama-standing orders noma-ke imigomo-ke esemaphoyiseni khona-ke engisakhulumile nabo sizobuyela-ke kulo daba kwilanga nje noma-ke amalanga amabili-ke kusuka manje uma nje ngingathola umuntu okuyena ozongisiza mayelana nalokho.
My lord, may I make a suggestion that maybe we stand the matter down because we have to receive the warning statements.
Yeah, why can't we do it now?
It has to be separated in bangles for all of
Yeah,
us.
so what's...
So the court is going to sit.
No, let's do it now.
Okay, yes.
Because as I understand it, they're from different police stations. Grafrenet, the Gamas Square, Skop, sorry, Boysens, Ennaday, and Nelspruit.
Correct, my lord.
Yeah, Boysens, yeah.
And now straight as well.
Sorry, where are the television crew? I'm told there are problems.
Well,
Who's
we're
in
not-
charge of this?
We're not aware.
Have you sorted it out?
No one brought it to our attention.
Where's the gentleman who's in charge of this?
Yeah,
Is that you?
Yes, sitting
Who's in
outside.
charge?
They're sitting outside, my lord.
No, it's because the manager has complained that you guys, and when I say you guys, no disrespect intended. You are tapping electricity from the court's electricity. Are you with me? You haven't brought your own generator, in other words. Hello? You've been using? Yeah, no, it's not a problem. The only problem, wait. The only problem is the court manager was not advised or requested to give you that indulgence. Are you with me? And now he's excoriating the guy in charge of the infrastructure concerning electricity. And this gentleman came to see me to say you guys did not request permission. Alternatively, if you had problems, you did not seek assistance from them. You did what we do in Soweto. You breach the electricity. So you must talk to your gentlemen there. They must go and see the court manager. No? Please. All right. Are you through, sir? That's exercise. South Africa is an interesting country. In the news I was watching, I think citizens or residents of Lenasia, apparently they are alleged to have an illegally connected water from the mains of the city council. Something like that. That's the name of the place. Now when I was listening to some of the complaints, the residents are saying, the city council must come and connect our electricity. I mean, they must come and collect water. The fact that we collected illegally or what is neither here nor there. It's a funamans. Did you see that clip?
We did, my lord.
Yeah, they say they want water. You mustn't tell them about it. But 7 years we've been doing it illegally. So what's your problem now? Hey, yeah. Charlotte Kashe, yeah, that is the name of the settlement.
My lord, I suggest that I proceed in the meantime.
How can this thing take long?
we're just sorting out the
Okay, fine. Let's proceed then. We'll sort them out later because that. Yes, Mr. Umalo.
Brigadier, what I want to understand from you is in respect of the arrest of accused number 2.
Thank you, Malotis. Yes, I'm listening, my lord.
Yes. So the evidence on record, Brigadier, is that accused number 2 was arrested on the 16th of June 2020 by Detective Sergeants Mohane and Mabena, and he was thereafter detained at Pretoria North Police Station.
I do recall that, my lord.
Engifisa ukuthi ngikwazi-ke kuwena-ke brigadier kumayelana nokuboshwa kwakhe umsola wesibili ukufakazike ukuthi waboshwa ngeyi-16 zikaJune 2020 emva kwalokho waseyogcinwa-ke ePretoria North boshwa uyena-ke uMukhane kanye noMabhene yebo.
On the 17th of June 2020, accused number 2 was booked out of the Pretoria North police station cells and thereafter is interviewed in the courtroom. Are you aware of that?
My Lord, I'm aware insofar as what was put to me. It was put to me that on the 17th of June, I was there when he was interviewed. And I said that is incorrect because I only saw him on the 18th. And so the issues of the 17th of June, I think can then be canvassed with Sergeant Mokhane because I was not there, my Lord.
Wasekuthi ke ngazo i-17 zika June 2020 base bemkhipha ke la ayevalelwe khona ke kwayoba nenhlolo khona naye ke e-boardroom. Uyakwazi yini lokho? Engikwaziyo yilokho mina engikutsheliwe ke uma bekushuwa ke kumina ukuthi ngangikhona ngasho ukuthi cha nge-17 angimbonanga. Lokho ke kungabuzwa yena ke uMokhane, mina mangimbona kwakunge-18 zika June 2020.
Even Detective Sergeant Mokhane did not inform you that on the 17th of June 2020 he had booked out accused number 2 from the Pretoria North police station for interview in the boardroom of that police station.
No, my Lord, and it would not be necessary. Remember, I've indicated to the court that there were cases that Mokhane was assigned to look at insofar as his investigation is concerned. He only brought the information to my attention that he was going to Northwest on the 18th to follow certain things and certain things insofar as this matter. That's when I then said I will meet him in Northwest, my Lord, in Carltonville specific on the 18th. So insofar as the matters that were assigned to him, he didn't need a permission from me. I mean, he's got a mandate, he's an investigating officer, so he could interview the person he had arrested and investigating without reporting to me, my Lord.
Ngabe ke akazange akutshele yini uSergeant Mokhane ngokuthi ke waba ne-interview noma inhlolo khona naye ke nge-17? Cha, futhi ke sasingekho ke isidingo salokho. Uzokhumbula ke ukuthi ke uSergeant Mokhane kunamacala ke engikhulumile ngawo ukuthi kwakuyiwona ke ayewaphenya ke engasilona ke leli noma ayengahlangeneke naleli. Wase engazisa ke engitshela ukuthi ngazo i-18 zika June lezo uya ke eNorthwest ehambelela ke okuhlangene naleli ke icala ila engasivuma khona ukuthi ngizohlangana nabo ke khona eNorthwest. Umphenyi naye ke futhi ke manje ke besingekho isidingo sokuthi ke acele imvume kumina.
On the 18th of June 2020, accused number 2 is booked out for investigations by Sergeant Mokhane. Sergeant Mokhane then traveled with the accused, that is accused number 2, to Western area in the Northwest for further investigation purposes, that is to follow the accused alibi. Is that correct?
I'm aware of that, my Lord. Yes, that's correct.
Nge-18 zika June 2020 wasemkhipha ke uSergeant Mokhane umsolo wesibili isizathu ke ukuqhubeka ke nophenyo uya naye ke eWestern area. Uyakwazi lokho? Yebo ke ngolwazi lwakho lokho.
So, when the accused is booked out on the 18th of June 2020 for further investigations, it was in respect of which case?
It was in respect of the matters that Sergeant Mokhane was investigating, but then he told me that there's this assertion, but then I decided, my Lord, that I will go and interview the accused, because insofar as this matter was the leading investigating officer, so it was all the matters that Sergeant Mokhane was investigating insofar as I know, my Lord.
Uma ke emkhipha ngazo i-18 zika June ke wayemkhiphela amanye ke amaqala la ayewaphenya yena ke uSergeant Mokhane, kodwa wase engitshela ukuthi ke kunalo daba olukhona ke ila engathatha isinqumo khona ukuthi ngizohlangana nabo khona ke eNorthwest ngoba ke kuyimina ohola ithimba eliphenyayo kuleli icala.
So, amongst the matters that Sergeant Mokhane was going to investigate on the 18th of June 2020, which made you to say we are also going to come, was in this case?
Was in relation to this matter. My Lord, it should be prudent or maybe recall that my interest insofar as the two accused were this was in relation to this matter. The other matters, my Lord, were picked up on the cold case analysis and assigned accordingly to the relevant investigating officers.
Manje ke uma ke ekhishwa ke nge-18 noma ke eyophenya ke nge-18 kwakumala namanye amacala leli lana ayowaphenya noma naleli futhi yilawo amacala ayowaphenya waseshoka ukuthi naleli ke khona ku-double velileke futhi ke kuzofanele kwaziweke noma kukhunjulweke ukuthi mina ke enganginakileke noma enganginendaba nako ke abasolwa ababili laba mayelana naleli icala.
Sergeant Mokhane, told this court that on the 18th of June 2020, he informed you that they were proceeding to Western area in the company of the accused. Do you confirm that?
Yes, I confirm. That is why, my lord, I joined them, because I had knowledge that they will be in Carltonville. I was aware, my lord.
Ngangazi ke ingakho ke ngase nami ke ngiya khona ke ngoba ngangazi ke ukuthi babeya eCarltonville.
When he informed you, Brigadier, that he was proceeding to Western area in the company of the accused, where were you?
My lord, I was in Gauteng. I just don't recall where, but I was perhaps even here in Pretoria, but I was not in that province, my lord. I was around here, my lord.
Ngangikhona lana ke eGoli noma ngazi ukuthi angikuphi nendawo kodwa ngangi la eGoli.
Besides telling Sergeant Mokhane after he had informed you that he was proceeding to Western area with the accused, what did you say to him?
No, but my lord, I won't recall that. All I know is that there was an understanding that I will meet him in Western area, and I met him in Western area with the accused, my lord, with the accused too.
Ukuthi ke ngathini ke na ke Bukhane angikhumbuleke lokho ngaziyo ukuthi kwaba khona ke nje isivumelwano phakathi kwami naye ukuthi ke zohlangana nabo ke khona eWestern area kanye naye umsolo wesibili.
According to Sergeant Mokhane, you told him that you were also coming. You will meet at Western area as you also wanted to interview the accused. That is accused number 2.
My lord, that's what I just said. There was an understanding that we will meet in Western area with accused too, my lord.
Yikona ke lokho engiqeda ukusho ke manje ukuthi ke sikwaba kunalesi sivumelwano ke ukuthi ngizohlangana nabo ke eWestern area kanye naye ke umsolo wesibili.
It doesn't end there, Brigadier. You also said that you also wanted to interview the accused.
My lord, I've also said that my only interest insofar as these two accused were in relation to this matter. So naturally, when you engage them, it will be a formal engagement, my lord. So what I said, I don't recall what words I used, but there was the understanding that we will meet in Carltonville in relation to accused two, my lord. And so naturally, yes, there would have been an engagement with myself and accused two. But what I said, I don't remember the exact wording, except that there was this understanding that I will meet him in Carltonville with accused number 2.
Agcine lapho ke Brigadier uqhubeke yathi ke uMkhane wena wathi ke nawe uyafisa ukuthi ke ukhulume naye ke noma ube ne-interview naye umsola yilokho ke engiqeda ukusho noma ukuvuma ke uma ngithi nje angazi ngithi angazi ukuthi iwaphi ke amazwi ekuyiwona engawasebenzisa kodwa ke isivumelwano kwakuwukuthi ngizohlangana nabo eWestern area bese kuba khona ke ukuxoxisana noma ukukhulumisana phakathi kwami naye ke umsolwa wesibili.
Brigadier, you also confirmed the issue of the interview in your affidavit that you deposed on the 15th of October 2023 at 1900 hours 40 minutes. That is some 3 years later after the incident of the 18th of October 18th of June 2020. You confirmed this. You said you're also coming to interview the accused. Do you recall that?
My lord, I'm not disputing that. I think the question was asked differently. I was asked what words did I use, and I said I don't recall. That's some years back, my lord, the verbatim of what was used. But I do not dispute that between myself and Sergeant Mokhane, there was this understanding that I would be joining them in Carltonville in relation for me to engage with accused too. I just don't remember the wording that I used, but my lord, one can take it that my presence of going there was to engage with the accused too. So if the term interview was used by Sergeant Mokhane, I will not dispute it, because then I was going for that purpose, my lord.
Engisho noma ke umbuzo lana bekuwukuthi nje yiwapi amagama engawasebenzisa angikuphikile lokho uma kuwukuthi ke ngangiyele lapho ke inhloso noma ke uMokhane kuthe ngangiyom-interview noma ngiyoba nenhlolo khona nomsolo wesibili ke ukuthi nje ngithe angisakhumbula ukuthi yiwapi amagama ekuyiwona engawasebenzisa.
May the court bear with me, madam. Brigadier, I'm going to refer you to the affidavit that you made, your affidavit which you made or documented on the 15th of October 2023 at 1900 hours 40. I'm not going to hand this affidavit for the record purposes, I'm going to refer you to paragraph 10 of the affidavit. Maybe before I proceed, I'm going to hand you this copy of the affidavit in order for you to confirm the signature as well as the signature or the names of the Commission of Votes. It is a typed version of the affidavit that you made on the 15th of October 2023. So, Brigadier, to confirm the signature that is appearing on the last page of the affidavit as your signature.
Yes, I do confirm it, my lord.
Yebo ngiyaqiniseka ukuthi signature ekhona ke lana eyami.
You also confirm that that affidavit was made on the 15th of October 2023 at 1900 hours 40 minutes.
I do confirm, my lord.
Nokuthi ke kwakunge 15th October 2023 isikhathi ke kwaku 1940 uma ke le statement esifungele phecelezi ke affidavit ngiyenza.
Do you also confirm that it is commissioned by the Commission of Oaths?
Yes, it was commissioned by Lieutenant Colonel Matoko, my lord.
Kwakuyena ke uLieutenant Colonel Mahloko ekuyena ke owasayinda amagama efungisa.
Thank you. So, Brigadier, for purposes of my cross-examination, I'm going to refer you to paragraph 10 of the affidavit. That is now in relation to the words, the interview, not the whole paragraph. It reads as follows, and I quote, "Accused number 2 was arrested by 2 members for a different matter. I proceeded to Western area to interview him. This was on or after the 16th of June 2020. Upon my arrival, I was introduced to him by both Sergeant Mohane and Mabena." Those quotations.
Am I supposed?
So you confirm, Brigadier, that the words interview do appear in your affidavit. That is the words as Sergeant Mohane told this court that you told him that you were coming to interview the accused.
My lord, I do confirm, but I think the question really, with greatest respect to Advocate Minister, was asked differently. What I was asked is, what did I tell Sergeant Mohane, not what was I going to do in Cantonville. That's not how the question was phrased. And when the name interview was then raised, I said, I will not dispute that, my lord, because I was going there indeed to engage with accused number 2. But the question was asked differently because I was asked, what is it myself did I tell Sergeant Mohane, not what was I going to do in relation to accused number 2. So there is no dispute insofar as me going to interview accused number 2, my lord.
Akukho ke lana ukuphikisana ke mala nami ke ngiya ke khona ke eWestern area eCarltonville ngiyoba nenhlolo khona naye ke umsolwa wesibili ke ukuthi nje indlela ke umbuzo obuzwe ngayo ukuthi iwaphi ke amagama asetshenziswa phakathi kwami noMohane, hayi ukuthi ngangiyothini mina khona lapha.
You also testified that when you arrive at Western area, you introduce, the accuser is introduced to you, and you also introduce yourself to the accused.
That is correct, my lord.
Kuyiqiniso ngishilo ukuthi mangifika ke khona lapho ngazithula ke kuyena naye ke wazithula kumina.
Where did this interview took place? The interview that you had with the accused? That is accused number 2.
In Cantonville, at Sibanya, not far from Sibanya mine, my lord.
Kwenzeka ke lokho ukuthi ngikhulumisana naye kumsolo wesibili eCarltonville kungakudeke nemayini ke eSibanye.
Where exactly?
In the, I think I found them, my lord, in the parking lot, the security area. There's a security area there in Sibanya mine, and I think I dealt with this part that after I questioned accused number 2 insofar as this incident, when he said he was at work, on the 26th of October 2014. We then proceeded because it was close by, my lord. It was a walking distance. So where I spoke to him, where I found him parked, the mine itself was just a walking distance, my lord.
Lokhu uma umbuzo uthi ke kwenzeka kuphi nendawo ngishilo ke ngalokho ukuthi ke indawo la ekuphakwa khona noma ekuma khona ke imoto kathi ke ngimbuza ke malana nalo udaba ke ukuthi la nge-26 October 2014 kwakula imoto iphaka khona ke ku parking area ukusuka lapho ke uya ke emine kwakungekudeke.
So the interview took place in the vehicle. Is that what you are saying?
My lord,
Or somewhere there in the parking lot?
my lord, I think engaging someone, and I don't understand perhaps the term interview, because it should not be construed to be saying you're sitting down and writing. That is why I said I was introduced when I found him, my lord. I introduced myself. I warned him according to his rights. I dealt with this part, my lord, during the trial, within trial, and I engaged him insofar as this matter is concerned. So but it's not a type of an interview where you sit down with someone, take notes or write a warning statement or make a statement. It was not, but it was formal, my lord, because my engagement with him was on formal basis.
Uma ke khulunywa ngale gama ke interview noma ke ihlolo khona asikhulumi ke la umuntu ahlezi phansi khona ke uyabuza uyabhala phansi ke ngishilo ukuthi ngafika ke lapha ngazethula naye ke wethula kumina ke ngase ke ngikhuluma noma ke ngimbuza ke nalo lo daba lo futhi ke ngamona noma ngamxwayisa futhi nangamalungelo akhe.
So I just want to get this clear, Brigadier. When you receive a call from Sergeant Mohane, wherever you are, or you were at that time of the call, proceeding to Western area. So when you receive a call, Sergeant Mohane is informing you that he had arrested accused number 2 and they were proceeding to Western area to do some investigations. And then you also, on the other hand, inform Sergeant Mohane that you were coming to interview the accused. So when you left the place wherever you were on that day, that is the 18th of June 2020, proceeding to Western area, you knew, you had formulated it in your mind that when you met or meet the accused in Western area, we were going to interview him.
My lord, so the first part, insofar as the arrest took place on the 16th. That's when I received the call, insofar as the arrest is concerned, was on the 16th. But coming back to the 18th, my lord, yes, I formulated in mind that I will be engaging. Now, when you engage or interview a person or speak to a person informal basis, my lord, it's not a formality that it must be at the police station. And I've dealt with this part, my lord, that it happened most of the time where you meet a witness on the street when incident has just happened. You can't say, don't tell me anything, let's go to the station and sit down and formalize the arrangement. The person, you engage a person, he will tell you this is what has happened, and then you can follow up on that, because I did not know what will be the responses of the accused. So I went there. What I knew is that there will be a formal engagement between myself and accused 2. It's only when I knew, my lord, in terms of his options, after he was warned according to his rights and his choices of what he wants to do, that then I started making arrangement for the formalities. This is now the obtaining of exhibit HA, I think it's HH, the first one, from Lieutenant Colonel Rapad, because then I was seized with information directly coming from him. Prior to that, my lord, I didn't know what he would say to me.
Yebo kona ke asiqale ke kudaba la nge-16 yebo ukuboshwa kwakhe ke waboshwa ngazo i-16 uma ngitshelwa ke noma ngifonelwa ke ngangitshelwa ngokuboshwa kwakhe ngazo i-16 base ukuthi ke manje ke nge-18 yebo ke uma ngiya ke khona lapho ngaya ke sengazi ke noma ke sengistartile ke isinqumo kumina ukuthi ke ngiyokhulumisana noma ngiyoxoxisana ke naye, kodwa ke hayi kwakungasikona ke ukuthi uxoxisana nomuntu lokhu kokuthi uhlala phansi uyabhala bengikushilo ke lokhu nangaphambilini ke ukuthi kwenzeka ke la uhlangana khona nofakazi noma i-witness. Asikho isikhathi sokuthi manje uma kukhona xoxela kwantu uthi asambe siye police station uyalalela ke nakuyena ke umsola ngangazi ke ukuthi yini engangizoyitshela noma ke awayezongiphendula yona ke kamuva ke kokuthi angitshela lokho angitshela khona ke la engenza khona ke amalungiselelo la esengena khona ke uKolonel Rapado.
So my lord, at this stage, in essence, it was the investigation. It was right at the inception. It was right at the beginning of this matter. So it was more at an investigation stage. However, the interaction, because you have to tame the interaction as to what you're doing with this person, it was formal and indeed there was exchange. So you cannot, I don't know any other terminology, my lord, except that you were interviewing the suspect. But the engagement was part of the investigation at an inception stage, because it was the first time I was then going to come across or came across accused 2 on the 18th of June 2020, my lord.
Futhi ke lana ke kwisigaba esasikusona ke kwakusesekuqaleni ke kwakusaphenywa ke kwakuyihlandla lokuqala ngizohlangana naye ke umsolwa wesibili, ngakho ke kwakusewuphenyo ke lola olalwenzeka ngaleso sikhathi leso.
Insofar as the writing of whatever occurred there on the 18th of June 2020, by writing, do you mean the use of the statement regarding the interview with suspect form?
Yes, because I'm getting an impression, my lord, that that's where Advocate Numalo wants to go to say, and that is why my interaction was documented in the diary. That's why I'm saying it was more an investigation phase. It was at the beginning. You're meeting a person for the first time, so you can't go there carrying all manner of things because it's a first engagement. I do not know what this person will say and whether what he's going to say will actually link him or exonerate him in the matter. You're going there to say there is this person of interest that has been identified in the matter. You are now going to engage this person, but it's at the investigation stage. My understanding of the interview, when you now take a decision, for example, which was done in this matter, by the way, my lord, that a warning statement will be taken. Then there was that interview, and indeed, in terms of the warning statement, it was done where he signed, and then the person who took the warning statement, which I think is Sergeant Mohane, also signed on his part. Then that was done, but on a different date, my lord.
Lana ke sikhuluma ke ngokuthi ke nanje bangishilo ukuthi kwayo kokuqala ke uyohlangana naye ke awazi ukuthi yini ke ozoyithola, ingakho ke ngasebenzisa ke incwadi yami phecelezi ke idiary okuyiyona ke engibhala kuyona ke ngoba ke angeke uye lapha yena uphethe konke ke ngoba awazi ukuthi yini ezoshiwo lo muntu oyohlangana naye ke, noma ukuthi khona azokusho okumhlanganisayo neqala leli, noma ke azokusho okungamhlanganisi ke nalo icala leli ke. Yebo ke kwasaba khona ke isikhathi noma isigaba ke la khona ke kwakune warning statement wasayinda kanye naye ke futhi uSergeant Mohane wasayinda, kodwa lokho kwenzeka ngelinye ilanga.
So what I'm saying, my lord, at that stage, because it was the initial stage, you go to such matters with an objective mind, not with a concluded mind, because I did not have anything except the statement of Absalom Zongo that points him to say he may have played a role in this matter. But when you embark on investigation, you try, this is what I do, my lord, to be as objective as possible, my lord.
Ngoba ke lapha yana angiyanga ke ngomqondo noma sekukhona ke kumileke noma engikwazi ke, kodwa ke ngoba kwangekho ke okunganginako ngaphandle nje kwestatement lesi esasibuya ke na ke uAbsalom Zungu esasithi ke owaye ngaba ke nokubandakanyeka kulona ke icala leli.
The engagement, to use the word that you've just used, it will be you asking questions from accused number 2, and you will then respond to the questions that you pose to him.
Yes, formally, my lord. That's why I said it was not an unofficial engagement. It was formal, my lord. The notice of rights we engage, who I am, why I'm there, my lord. So we spoke on formal basis, my lord.
Yebo ke kwakuyimina ke ngikhuluma naye noma ngixoxisana naye ke ukuthi ngiyamzombuza ke aphenduleke, ingakho ngisebenziseke phecelezi legama lethi ke formal, kwenza lokho ke ngisemsebenzini ke ngoba ke namalungelo akhe wawatshela noma ke kwafanele ngimxwayise ngawo.
Whatever that transpired on that day, the 18th of June 2020, was it written down? Did you make a statement on that day or some days after?
My lord, I think I dealt with this part, that I made a diary which with regard to the summary of what happened, and then subsequently I think in my statements one would have summed up,
in
my lord.
October 2023, last year, you made a statement, only last year.
No. So perhaps let's go back, my lord. The statement of, and I dealt with this part, it's not the first time, my lord, this has been brought to me. The statement of 2023, my lord, I indicated when we're dealing with the trial within trial, that as the matter was proceeding, I was asked by the state advocate at the behest of the defense that certain aspects of what transpired in relation to accused number 2 must be explained. I remember, my lord, there was even this assertion that at some stage he was taken to Capitec Bank, I don't know to do what, my lord. This is now as to the information was being brought to me by the state advocate to say, explain this aspect that he was taken to Capitec Bank, and it came in the same correlation when it was said now we must do the 205 to say he was in KZN on the 27th, and then also I think something to the effect of the clothing. So those were at the behest of the defense, my lord, that was asking us to explain this situation. So I disposed that affidavit to respond to the request that was made by the defense, my lord.
Uma khulunywa ke ngestatement sango October 15 October kunyaka odlule 2023 lapho ke ngacelwa khona ke umbuso noma ngicela ke umshushisi lokho ke ecela emuva kokuthi ke ku abameli babo ke abasolwa abacela ke ukuthi kunegaba nje noma kunezinto ezithize mayelana yeke umsolwa wesibili ekufanele ukuthi ilandelwe noma ibhekwe ke kwaku udaba lokuthi wayese KZN, udaba lwempahla, udaba lebank iCapitec. Ingakho ke ngenza leso statement leso sange 15 October 2023.
Amongst the requests that was made was in relation to the events of the 18th of June 2020, which did not appear anywhere from the documents which were disclosed to us. It is then that we receive a statement only on the 15th of October 2023 in relation to the events of the 18th of June 2020.
Yeah, my lord, I was not in court. All I can say, my lord, is that I was asked to explain certain situation by the state advocate, and I disposed the affidavit according to the request, my lord.
Ngangekho ke enkantolo ukuthi kwenzekani ke noma kwashiwoni ke enkantolo mina ngacela umshushisi ke ukuthi ke angenze ke istatement leso ke malane nodaba ke othize noma ke igaba ethize ingakho ke ngenza leso statement leso sange 15 October 2023.
For purposes of the interview or engagement, I'll use the word that you use. You are aware of the statement regarding interview with suspect form?
No, my lord, okay, so the first part I'm aware, but and I think we dealt with this part with Advocate Mnisi even. There is a difference, a warning statement, my lord, and I think Advocate Tumalo knows that he was a prosecutor, I believe, at
Yes,
some
for
stage.
a long time, yes.
Yes. You prepare, when a person is being prepared to appear in court, you then complete that. That is the normal form that you will find actually at the station. I have never, and I repeat, my lord, standing here again, seen a detective who, when he conducts an investigation, sits down with the suspect that is interviewing during the course of investigation, says, now I'm going to ask questions, let's go through this warning statement. That's not how we stand, my lord. And specifically the form that I was referred to, it is clearly indicated on the first paragraph that is as a result of the directive from the NPA or from the prosecutor saying, go and interview this person and get this answer. So you get the directive first from the NPA, then you engage the suspect, then you take that communication back. It's a different situation, my lord, when the police are embarking on their routine investigation. It doesn't happen. It's not feasible, my lord. It's not feasible because, like I said, even during the course of simple arrest by uniform members who are not detectives, they do interview people on the inception. They interview people, follow up on the lead that they give them, and then subsequently then arrest them, give them the notice of rights in terms of 14A, detain them and leave them there. But the first engagement was not the detective, my lord, or the investigating officer who will be preparing the suspect for court. It's the arresting officers, and they will be interviewed. They'll simply make a statement and not complete the form, my lord.
Kube udaba ke la yoke warning statement advocate uma uzokwazi ke lokhu naye ke ngaphambili wake wawuyena ke umshushisi ukuthi ke angaze ke lapho ngihlangane khona ke noma ngibone ke ukuthi ke manje umuntu ke obophayo noma ke udetective uzohlala phansi nomsolwa athi ke manje wenzeke silandeleke ngokwale form ke lena ngoba ke uma kwenzeka ke namaphoyisa la agqoka ke iuniform uma ngaba ebopha umuntu emgwaqweni ke ukuthi bazobuza noma babe ne-interview nomuntu ke base beyalandelela ke kulokho azobe ke umuntu loyo ebatshela kona. Kodwa ke kulesiya isigaba ke ila khona ke kuwuphenyo khona ke uyabuza umuntu khona ke noma niyakhulumisana hayi ukuthi uzohlala phansi ubese ugcwalisa yona ke iform leya.
So I'm not aware, in essence, my lord, my response, I'm not aware that when you conduct an investigation, every time you interview or engage a suspect, you must complete this form every time. That assertion, I'm not aware of that.
Lokho ke kona ke angikwazi ukuthi ngaso sonke isikhathi ke ukhulumisana nomsola noma ke ubuza umsola umbuzo kufanele ke ube naleya form noma ugcwalise leya form, angikwazi lokho.
So you do have the understanding, Brigadier, of the words to the following effect. These words, they are appearing in Exhibit XX of the record. That the station commander must consult with the prosecutor in circumstances in which the prosecutor requires that a warning statement of a suspect be obtained. So it means that the station commander must, in consultation with the prosecutor, in the circumstances where a warning statement has to be obtained, consult with the prosecutor. Is that what you mean? Or is that how you understand this?
No, but that sentence, my lord, is self-explanatory. It says you complete that form when in other words, you document what the suspect is telling you when the prosecutor tells you that go and obtain this information. Even if it's 2, 3, or 10 times, every time you engage, as long as there's this directive from NPA, you'll have to document whatever you say. It is different when it comes to investigation, because the investigation is the police are investigating. There's no directive from the NPA, and that is why I'm saying, my lord, specifically, if we come down to the matter before court, when a decision was taken that I will go and interview accused 2, there was no directive from the NPA that I must go and interview accused 2. It was in the course of the investigation, my lord.
Leya form ke iyayichaza ke yona ngokwayo ke ukuthi nje uma ngabe kukhona ke umlomo noma ke okubuya kena ke umshushisi noma ke prosecutor ukuthi ke hamba uyokhuluma noma ke uyoba ne-interview nalomuntu, kuzofanele ke lokho ke akushoyo lo muntu ubhale phansi, noma usungaphinda phindaka noma kayi10 noma kayi10 uma nje kuukuthi lokho kubuya kena ke prosecutor. Kodwa ke lana kuleli ke icala kwakuwuphenyo ke, kwakungekho okubuya ke kubashushisi ukuthi hamba uyokhuluma naye lo yamuntu, kwakuwuphenyo noma ke isinqumo esathathwa ke yimina ukuthi angihambe ngiyokhuluma naye.
So, from what is appearing on Exhibit XX, it says that the statement must be completed every time the suspect is interviewed, irrespective of whether the suspect has been arrested or not. We are not aware of that.
No, but my lord, that document is not read correctly. It's not read in its context. I mean, we just dealt with my statement. The first part, when you confirm the statement, is the deponent. Who is this person, the details, and then the signature. So that whatever this person is saying then can own it, it corroborates. It's a sequence, my lord. So you cannot separate the first and fundamental point, which says there must be a directive from the NPA to the police. Then thereafter, everything else is following from that line, my lord. So now if you read the part that every time the suspect is interviewed, this form must be completed, but you disregard as to under what circumstances, then you are reading it incorrectly, my lord.
Iform lena ke ayifundwa ke ngendlela ke engakhona noma ke ebhalwe ngakhona ke ngoba konke ke okulandelayo ke noma lokho okufundayo kuqala ke lapha yaphezulu ukuthi kufanele kube khona ke okubuya ke ku-NPA noma ke abashushisi ke manje konke ke okusezansi ke kulandela emuva kwalokho. Uma uzofunda okusezansi kodwa ke ukuzibeke lokho kungaphezulu kusho ukuthi ke awuyifundi ngendlela engakhona iform leyo.
And my lord, may I add, and I'm saying this in relation to the form that was completed with regard to accused 2, the booklet, so to say, the one that Advocate Ngomalo is dealing with, which is different. These 6 warning statements that I gave, my lord, there is no such endorsement on those forms. I gave it to them. I mean, I know the bundle perhaps he didn't have a chance to go through them now, but the 6 other different warning statements does not even have that insertion. Be it whether it's both the first and the second one, they are not there, my lord. They just go straight to the point. It's a station, it's a case number, boom, they go straight. There's not even anything written prior to you starting completing the form.
Okunye futhi ke ukuthi ke manje ke lana kunalama bundle noma ke kulama form awu6 ke engiwakhiphe bengithi abuye ama police station ahlukile. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi akabanga naso isikhathi sokuthi awabhekeke uadvocate uNxumalo, kodwa ke wona ke awanayo ke le ndawo le angibuza ngayo anayo, wona ke angena nje odabeni ke ukuthi ke case number nodaba awanayo le ndawo le noma le part lena ke ekule form iPad.
Amongst the documents which were disclosed was A35, which is a warning statement in relation to Zamoguhle Innocent Mbata. I'm not going to hand it in. as an exhibit, Brigadier, but I wish to refer you to the first paragraph of that warning statement. It's 835.
Yes, my lord, I'm listening.
I'm raising this because you said the warning statement that you handed over to us, they don't have this part that I've referred to earlier. You just go straight to the names of the suspect as well as the ID number, the age, the address. Do you confirm that?
My lord,
That is what you said.
yes, that's what I said.
Yes.
Even the one, the 885, doesn't indicate, my lord, that there must be an indication, a directive from the prosecutor. That's what I'm saying, that they go straight to the crux of the matter. Even 885 that I'm being referred to, there's no entry here that says the prosecutor in communication with the station commander must do the following. And this is 885, not what I gave them. I gave
Yes.
the documents to the defense, but this is 885 that is attached in the docket. But even in this one that is in the docket, my lord, there is no entry that says the prosecutor in consultation with the station commander must do the following. It starts with just one sentence, then it goes to the crux of the matter, my lord.
nalo 835 ke ola edokotini ke engasiyona ke lo ebeku lama form engwadlulisile ke 835 akanayo ke indawo la ethi khona ke umshushisi ngokukhulumisana noma ngokuxoxisana naye ke station commander kufanele kwenzeke lokho imininingwane nje ethize bese ke kuyangena odabeni.
But what is contained in 835 is not just a sentence. It is very crucial. It is very important. It reads as follows. This form must be completed every time a suspect is questioned, irrespective of whether the suspect is in detention after an arrest or not. Where any space provided on this form is sufficient, continue on a folio and attach the folio to the page. Folio must be signed by the suspect, interpreter, deponent, and commissioner of oaths. You confirm that. Then you go to the questioning.
My lord, I think let's put things into context. 835 was not disclosed to me. It's not part of the bundles that I gave the defense. But be that as it may, let me deal with it, my lord. This is what this form is saying, and I agree. But and this is why I always say, my lord, you need to look into this thing within its context. Look at the complete picture, because otherwise, and I'm saying with greatest respect, and a certain impression which is wrong will be given. Now, this form, my lord, 835, was completed on the 30th of October 2014. This is when this accused, this suspect, Mr. Mbata, was arrested. Was then engaged insofar as the warning statement.
Sorry, you say the 30th of October?
Of October 2014. That is
And
when
you were appointed in August 20?
I was appointed 4 years later, my lord.
That's a point. Okay,
Yes,
good.
4 years later.
So,
Secondly,
wait, now maybe we should call the person who actually administered that statement. Because as I understand the brigadier, he comes into the picture 2018. And
Yes,
now he's
ma'am.
being excoriated
True.
for an exigency which happened in 2014. Are you with me?
No, I'm with you, my lord. But it's in relation to the different warning statements. That's where the question
Yeah, but
is.
you see, he was not involved there. There's somebody else involved.
I do understand that, my lord, but I was not going to go through the contents of the warning statement. It was just to show him the different types of warning statement, including the one that was handed in as Exhibit XS of the record. In these circumstances, Brigadier, who should be the station commander? For instance, in this case, who should be the station commander? Who should request, or who must consult the prosecutor for purposes of the taking of a warning statement from the suspect?
yes, my lord. Yeah. So perhaps if I come there, my lord, to this question, to illustrate, my lord, and prove the point that it doesn't mean that when the police engage a suspect, always this form will be completed. That is not always the case. And I want to refer to 885 to show and to support the assertion that I'm making. Now, 885 gets completed on the 30th of October 2014. But if you go back, 884, my lord, it was not my time, but if you go back to 884, the notice of rights, in other words, this person was arrested on the 29th of October. And we do know, if you look at these circumstances, it was because he was identified on the ID parade. There was engagement with him with the police in preparation of the ID parade. He was interviewed, subsequently was then detained on the 29th. There is no form that was completed. You only see the form on the 30th in preparation of court. So how could it be that this form must be completed every time an individual is interviewed? Because even on this narrative, my lord, he was engaged with the police, they warned him according to his rights, they prepared him to attend the ID parade, there's no form completed. Subsequent to the pointing out in the ID parade, he gets detained. You only see the 14A notice of rights dated 29 October 2014 at 2000 hours. There's no warning statement prior to this. When they were then preparing him to go to court on the 30th, they didn't complete the warning statement. So how is this argument, my lord, that every time a person is interviewed, this form must be completed when it was not even done on this example I'm being referred to, my lord?
Lana ke uma kuwukuthi ke nanjengalendlela efunda ngayo ke ukuthi ke ngaso sonke isikhathi ke interview noma khulunywa naye ke umsola le form lena kufanele ke igcwaliswe asibheke lana ke kule engibuzwa ngayo ku 835 kodwa ke ngaphambi ukuthi siye kena ke 835 kuno 834 yena ke wange 29 zika October 2014 isikhathi kwakungo 80 ke ebusuku ilokho kubizwa ngokuthi phecelezi ke ama notice of right sikhuluma ngayo ke lena ke ekambatha isikhathi leso ke aboshwa ngaso ke bese kuthi manje lena ke iform yena ke ekuyi warning statement yona izogcwaliswa ke noma izobhalwa ke ngazo i30 zika October 2014 manje ke ikuphiki ngena kuphike leyo ukuthi ngaso sonke isikhathi kufanele le form ngoba kuyabonakala nala ukuthi lokho akuzange kwenziwe ngaleyo ndlela.
And my lord, another practical example, and I'll say it because it's before this court. If you look at Cleveland case 96 of 2015, this is now the matter in relation to the arrest of accused 3 by Sergeant Masondo and Dlamini. If you look at the dates there, they engage the accused on a different date, where they interviewed him, subsequently go and conduct a search and found the items that they alleged they found, which is the firearm and the ammunition. There was engagement with the accused. No warning statement was completed. The warning statement was completed, I think, a day after. We have Cleveland case, and I can refer to specific dates. He was engaged with the police prior to the completion of the warning statement. There was interview, there were exhibits that were found, they were processed. I think Sergeant Masondo was here in Dlamini, they spoke to that effect. But there is no warning statement that was completed. It was completed on a different day. If my memory serves me correct, my lord, they engaged him on the 9th of Feb. The warning statement was taken, yes. The arrest took place on the 9th of February. Can I finish? Can I finish?
We'll get a chance to proceed.
No,
But I just
can I-
want to-
Aye, this witness must explain what he wants to explain. Why do you want to stop him?
I'm not stopping him,
No,
but
no,
I
let
just
him
want...
explain, please. Give each other a chance.
Yes.
He's still speaking. Let him explain, because now he's touching on another example which he wants to give you. Because we were excoriating him for an arrest which took place in 2014. And then yet he engaged accused number 2 on the 18th of June 2019.
2020. Yes, my lord.
I mean, we're going up and down.
Yes.
I have to understand that, because you are saying an exigency which happened when he was not in the picture. He must explain it. Are you with me?
Yes.
Yeah. He says he engages accused number 2 on the 18th of June 2020. And that statement, or that warning statement, is signed on the 30th of October 2014. I mean, really.
Let us hear you then, Brigadier.
So, my lord, I'm saying another example, because, and I'm illustrating this, my lord, to show this, that this is not an isolated incident. We've dealt now with 885, but now coming to the matter of Cleveland 96, which involved accused number 3. He gets arrested, my lord, on the 9th, as I've said, of February 2015, and I've indicated the exhibits that we know, because I've discovered that on the investigation as to what was seized from him. Then the warning statement, which, by the way, my lord, is the same booklet that I'm being referred to by Advocate Ngumalo. It's the same booklet, and it's marked A5. That is the warning statement. Similar, exactly the same booklet that they're being referred to. Only gets completed a day after, the 10th of February 2015, when they were preparing him to go to court. None of this form, which has the same incision and the writings, gets completed a day after. He was then prepared, placed on the roll. The matter ran its course up to it was finalized, my lord.
Esinye ke isibonelo ke lana engifuna ukuthi ke ngisebenzise ke ukuthi ke uma singaya ke kwicala leli ke lase Cleveland 962 of 2015 uSergeant Masondo kanye naye ke uDlamini beza ke bethula ubufakazi ke la enkantolo uma sikhuluma ngalo udaba lolu ke le warning statement ke ukuthi waboshwa ke umsolo wesithathu nge9 zika February 2015 kodwa iform lena ekuyiyona le esikhuluma ngayo ke i-warning statement futhi ke imakwe u-A5 yona ke uma igcwaliswa noma ke beyibhala ke bona ke uMasondo noma ke uDlamini kwakungeyi10 zika February 2015 ukuthi ke ilanga emuva kokuthi ke aboshwa ke sekuyiweke la ahlala khona ke ubufakazi noma amazibiti atholakala lapho okusho ukuthi ke lesigameko ayisigameko nje phela esenzeke lana kodwa ke yinto ke nala ingakho ngisebenzisa lesibonelo lesi ukuthi number 3 kwenzeka kanjalo hayi ukuthi ke ngaso sonke isikhathi kufanele le form lena igcwaliswe.
In the two matters that we've just referred to in the Mbata case and the Mngube case, the warning statements are taken on the following day of the arrest. Do you confirm that?
Yes, because they were in preparation of the court, my lord.
Yes.
But after this, that happened, he was prepared and then he appeared in
Yes,
court. It's the same. Yeah, sorry. Let me just finish up again. Same with accused number 5. On our matter, it was the course of investigation. When the investigation was concluded, my lord, and it was clear now that we must prepare him for the appearances, then the warning statement was completed, my lord. So these are different scenarios. Here, in those two occasions, once the ID parade was done, once the exhibit was found in the Cleveland case, they prepared the accused persons or suspect to appear in court. Hence, there was this completion in preparation of the appearance. Our instance, it was at an investigation stage. When we reached the stage to say now the matter can now be ready to be presented and then go to court, then the forms were then completed, my lord.
Kuyiqiniso ukuthi ke na ke umbatha kwenzeka ngaleyo ndlela ukuthi ke ilanga ke emuva kokuthi aboshwa ke sekuyiweke nakuyona ke ID parade amazibiti atholakele nangokunjalo ke nakuyena ke umsolwa ke wesihlanu uma sesiqhubeka ke silenza ke uphenyo kusengesikhathi ke manje esesilungiselela ukuthi usezobingelela yona ke imantshi ila khona ke ama warning statements ase eqala khona ukuthi agcwaliswe.
In this matter, the warning statement in respect of accused number 2 was only obtained on the 26th of July 2020 and he appeared in court on the 27th of October 2020. Do you confirm that, Brigadier?
Yes, I confirm, my lord.
Yebo ke kuleli ke icala lona ke kuma umsolo wesibili i-warning statement kwakungeyi-26 zika July 2020 yena kuma ke eyobingelela imantshi kwakungeyi-27 zika October 2020.
In the circumstances of this case, Brigadier, who should be the station commander?
My lord, station commanders, so let me explain it this way. Station commanders are not detectives. They run the station. They are basically uniform members.
Yes.
The inference there is the branch commander, but even the branch commander, my lord, does not, at certain stage they will carry dockets. But the delegation, in terms of the delegation powers, it goes to detectives, the engagement, unless for some reason then the station commander is then seized with a matter, because
Yes.
if he's a police officer then he's seized with a specific matter, then he can get such a directive. But in general terms, those powers are delegated to the investigators on the ground, my lord.
Masikhuluma ke nge-station commander ke sikhuluma ke ngalabo kuyibona ke abaphethe ke iy'teshi bagqoka ke i-uniform abasona ke abaseshi noma ke abaphenyi bese kuthi kuba khona ke ne-branch commander kuba khona ke ihlaka la khona ke i-branch commander yona ke bamadokodo bayawaphatha ke kodwa uma kuwukuthi ke kufanele manje badlulisele umlayezo ke enzansi lo umlayezo uzoya ke kulaba ekuyibona abaphenyayo ama-detectives.
In this case, Brigadier, who should be the station commander then? Who must consult with the prosecutor?
My lord, those powers they delegated, as I'm saying, to the detective, the investigating officer.
To
If
you?
I have to, yes, if I have
Okay.
to, I can fall into that category. If the directive, like in this instance, as it was a procedural driven investigation, there are instructions that were given to me by the prosecution, which I followed, even the obtaining of the warning statements to say, now prepare this, get this, those. So I fall into that category when there is that engagement because I'm an investigating officer.
Uma ke ukuthi ke ukhona ke umlomo boya ke kubashushisi ke noma ke kwi-NPA ngiyangena ke kulolo hlaka ukuthi kube ngisona ke i-station commander nanjengoba kwenzeka ke nala ukuthi ke umshushisi athi hamba ke uyothola i-warning statement ke kubani noma kulo umuntu thizeni. So mina-ke uma khuluma ngesisheshe ngingangena-ke lapho uma kuwukuthi ngama-instruction abuya kumshushisi.
But I'm saying this, my lord, I think the word of caution that one should put, it is not interpreted like that in relation to that form. I'm making my own inference, so I don't want it to be mistaken as if this is what I'm saying, because there's no glossary in that form that says the station commander relates to the following. I'm interpreting insofar as I know how the police function, my lord, but that's not the glossary or the interpretation of a station commander according to that form specifically, because I don't want us to move away from what is being prescribed on that form, my lord.
Angifuni-ke ukuthi sisuke-ke kulokho-ke okushiwo-ke kuleya form ngoba-ke akukho-ke la echaza khona-ke ukuthi-ke kulohla, kodwa-ke mina-ke ngiyisho ngendlela-ke engazi okusetshenzwa ngakhona-ke emaphoyiseni.
Is it correct, Brigadier, that on the 6th of July 2020, you interviewed accused number 4, my client now, at Louis Corp Correctional Service Center, using the statement regarding interview with suspect form?
Yes, I remember. Yes, it was the 6th of July 2020, my lord. That's correct.
Ngabe kuyiqiniso yini ukuthi ngeyi-6 zika July 2020 waba-ke nenhlolokhono-ke nalo engimmeleke umsolwa wesine kwijele i-Louis Corp? Yebo kuyiqiniso.
Was he a suspect?
Yes, he was a suspect.
Ingabe wayewumsolwa yini? Yebo wayewuyena umsolwa.
So, if I had to understand the word the station commander, so those powers are delegated to you as investigation officer.
My lord, I think
In this case,
yeah, but you see, I'm saying, my lord, my understanding of how the authority lies. The number one policeman is the national commissioner, but then it delegates the powers. They go down up to the, to the members who are doing patrols. I'm interpreting in that sense, but it is also important, because I'm being referred to a specific document, that the document I'm being referred to, there is no interpretation in that form of what categories falls under the station commanders. But I'm taking it, my lord, that indeed, because there are instances, and I'm aware, and I have been involved in those instances, where you get a directive from the prosecutor, you comply with it, so there's disengagement, police, prosecution, then I'm saying in that context, you can take it as that it means that, my lord.
Engikushoyo-ke ngoba-ke ngishilo ukuthi kwi-form leyana-ke ukuthi akukho la khona-ke ichaza khona noma iy'tolika khona-ke ukuthi-ke u-station commander-ke kuyini, ngoba-ke iphoyisa-ke lokuqala-ke uyena-ke u-national commissioner bese kuyehla-ke enzansi, kodwa-ke zibe khona-ke izehlakalo la khona nanjengoba bengishilo ukuthi nakuleli icala ukuthi-ke beko abashushiswe-ke kuyibona-ke abashoyo ukuthi akwenzekeni-ke nami bengikhona-ke kulezo zehlakalo, ngiyisho ngaleyo ndlela-ke ukuthi uzothola lokhu kumshushisi ukuthi yenza lokhu bese-ke nami ngiyakwenza-ke lokhu.
in respect of the warning statement that you obtained from accused number 4, my client, it was you in consultation with the prosecutor?
Yes, the prosecution, my lord, as I said, from the 29 or 26 of January 2019, I think, that's when we met Advocate Baloyi, 26, somewhere there. I've placed that date on record, my lord. It was procedural driven, so you talk, you get instruction, you are told, you engage, and then you get directives as well, my lord. So it was all the way right up to the time the matter was arraigned. And even when the proceedings were taking place here, there was still those directives. That statement that Advocate Ngumalo referred me to is part of that engagement, because as the matter was proceeding, Advocate Baloyi asked me to prepare or answer to this request that was coming from the defense.
Manje-ke i-statement-ke noma-ke leyo warning statement owayithatha-ke kumangalelwa umsolwa engimmele nayo-ke kwakuyengaleyo ndlela-ke ukuthi-ke uthola ama-instructions-ke kumshushisi-ke, yebo-ke ngoba kwakungeyi-29 noma ngeyi-26 kuJanuwari 2019 uma sihlangana naye-ke u-Advocate uBaloyi, futhi-ke esekhipha-ke ama-instructions ukuthi-ke akwenzeke lokhu noma ethi-ke kunalesi sicelo esibuya-ke kubona-ke abameli ngaso sonke-ke isikhathi, kwaze kwayisikhathi la khona-ke icala leli seliba-ke phambi kwenkantolo.
On the 19th of June 2020, accused number 2 appears before Lieutenant Colonel or a Colonel Rapadu for a confession statement. Do you confirm that?
Yes, Lieutenant Colonel Rapadu, that's his rank, my lord.
Yes.
Ngazo i-19 zika June 2020 umsolwa wesibili wase eyoba vela-ke phambi kwakhe u-Lieutenant Colonel Rapadu la eyobonyuluka khona, yebo kuyiqiniso.
On the 24th of June 2020, he appears before a magistrate, Mrs. Cronje, for a confession statement. Do you confirm that?
Yes, I do confirm, my lord.
Nge-24 zikaJuni 2020 wase eyovela-ke phambi kwemantshi uMiss Cronje nalapho futhi eyogonyuluka yebo kuyiqiniso.
So do you also confirm, Brigadier, that after the said statements, the confession statement by Lieutenant Colonel Rapado and a confession statement from a magistrate, accused number 2 did not appear in court thereafter, immediately thereafter? It could have been some days after or the following day of the 24th of June 2020. Do you confirm that?
No, I don't confirm. Perhaps, well, no, I don't agree.
You don't agree that it did not appear in court after a confession statement?
Yes, no, I don't
of the
agree.
24th of June?
No. Let me put it in the right context. The first confession, my lord, was Lieutenant Colonel Rapado, which was, 19th of June. On the 22nd of June, he made appearances in Pukeng for a different matter. So, and I'm answering it because, my understanding of the question is not in relation to this matter, is the appearances in court in general. That's how I'm understanding the question. And I'm saying on the 22nd of June, my lord, he made appearances for unrelated matter. Then, after the 24th of June, even after appearing before Mrs. Cronje, there were other appearances insofar as that matter is concerned. So there were court appearances. That is why I don't agree. But if the question is different insofar as relating to this matter, he only appeared insofar as this matter is concerned on the 27th of October 2014, my lord.
Again, the date again,
27 October 2020.
Umbuzo lona-ke ukuthi-ke emuva kokuthi-ke enze istatimende kuyena uKolonel Rapado ngazo i-19 zikaJuni 2020 nestatimende kuyena uMagistrate Cronje nge-24 zikaJuni 2020 akayanga nje enkantolo ayovela-ke uma umbuzo-ke lo mbuzo lo ngizophendula ngale ndlela-ke ukuthi nge-22 wayebingelela-ke imantshi ePhukeng kungasilona-ke leli cala kulelinye icala uphindile-ke emuva kwalokho-ke wavela-ke enkantolo-ke evelela-ke lawo macala noma lelo cala lelo kodwa uma umbuzo uthi-ke kuleli icala leli akayibingelelanga imantshi yebo ngizovuma-ke ukuthi ayibingelelanga imantshi kuleli icala kwaze kwayi-27 ku-October 2020.
My question was in relation to this case. I'm well aware, Brigadier, that he appeared in court on the 22nd of June 2020 in relation to another case. But in relation to this case, he appeared in court for the first time on the 27th of October 2020.
Yes, in relation to this case, my lord, we're on the same. We agree with each other, my lord.
Yebo-ke uma kuwukuthi-ke ukhuluma ngaleli cala siyavumelana-ke ngedate ukuthi-ke wabingelela-ke imantshi nge-27 ka-October 2020.
The reason that he did not appear in court after the confession statement, of accused number 2 from Mrs. Cronje, magistrate, is because we're going to conduct some investigations. We're still going to conduct some investigations.
The investigation is still taking place, my lord, insofar as the correlation and collaboration of the warning statement. I dealt with that part also.
Isizathu-ke sokuthi-ke emuva kokuthi senzile-ke istatimende sokugonyuluka phambi kwayo-ke imantshi uCronje ukuthi-ke angayobingelela imantshi noma-ke ayovela-ke enkantolo kungokuthi-ke uphenyo lusaqhubeka-ke ngokumayelana-ke nokuthi-ke kuhlanganiswe-ke ngikhuluma ngayo-ke i-warning statement.
We have considered, Brigadier, that a confession statement from one accused is inadmissible against the other. Do you agree with that?
Yes, it is, my lord. It is not admissible on the other. On the other
Yes,
accused.
the contents of the warning statement, sorry, it's not a warning statement, the confession statement which is made by one accused where he mentions the other accused is not admissible against the other. Are you aware of that?
I think this is a legal proposition. It's something that should be argued. It's not something that can be put to the witness. And the authorities, State versus Ndlovu and other cases regarding the admissibility of what a suspect says about another suspect. So we submit, my lord, that is it's improper to put such a proposition to a witness. It's something that should be argued in light of the relevant section and case law.
But I'm aware of the decided cases. There are a number of them. But the witness has already said that he is aware. So I'll continue from there.
Yeah, okay.
My Lord, I'm aware, but I'm also aware that when the witness or the said deponent of the confession takes a stand and confirms the contents of the confession, then the picture changes. That I'm aware of that as well, my Lord.
Ngiyazi-ke uma kuwukuthi-ke umsolwa wenza-ke istatement la agonyuluka khona-ke ukuthi lokho-ke akwazi-ke ukuthi-ke kungasetshenziswa ngakwabanye-ke abasolwa noma omunye umsolwa, kodwa ngiyazi-ke ukuthi uma kuwukuthi loyo muntu lowo okuyena wenze leso statement leso-ke confession leyo uma esezobethula ubufakazi-ke ekuvuma-ke noma ehambisana nalokho okubhalwe lapho kuyashintsha-ke lokho.
You have not crossed that bridge. I don't know if you will ever cross it, Brigadier.
I was asked a general question, my Lord, and I'm answering it on the basis of my knowledge, my Lord.
Brigadier, is there evidence from the witnesses who were in the house that after the two alleged intruders had left the scene, that there was another intruder who entered the house? Is there evidence to that effect?
No, none of them are saying that, my Lord.
Ingaba khona yini ubufakazi kubantu ababephakathi endlini ukuthi emuva kokuthi kwalaba ababili abangena ukhona omunye wangena cha akekho ukubona okushoyo lokho?
Did you interview them, the witnesses who were inside the house?
No, my Lord, with this
In
aspect, I
this
think...
respect,
No, the affidavit, no, my Lord. I think I indicated those that we interviewed. And I think the statements are self-explanatory. None of them are saying that, my Lord. But also one will know that they are saying in the statements after the gunshots were fired, they ran to different directions.
Akekho-ke kubona-ke okushoyo-ke lokho mayelana nalolu-ke udaba futhi bayasho-ke kwitatimende zabo ukuthi emuva kokuthi isibhamu saqhuma-ke babaleka-ke bona-ke ukuthi omunye waya ngale omunye waya le.
Brigadier, is there evidence from the witnesses, I mean the neighbors now, who wrote statements to the effect that when this incident was happening inside the house, there was another intruder who was standing outside in the premises?
Yes, there are. You do find a statement of Makaleni who refers to seeing more than two intruders. So if the question is whether do we have statements indicating more than two intruders, yes, you do. You do have such statements, my Lord, in the docket. Makaleni is one of them, my Lord.
Ingaba sikhona yini itatimende noma bakhona yini ofakazi-ke noma-ke kuko ibona-ke omakhelwane abathi babe khona-ke abanye abantu babemi ngaphandle-ke? Yebo ukhona-ke yena-ke umakeleni yena-ke uthi wabona-ke abantu abandlulile-ke kulabo ababili ababe ngenile-ke ngaphakathi. Sikhona istatimende esikushoyo lokho.
Maybe I need to rephrase this question, Brigadier, for you to understand. Is there evidence from witnesses, that is the neighbors, who saw people who were standing within the premises, not outside the premises of the house, once the incident was happening inside the house? Is there a statement to that effect?
Yes, the statement of Makaleni, my Lord, it might not say it exactly as Advocate Ngomalo is saying, but what it says is that at some stage when he was walking to one direction, he noticed people standing outside, and he refers to the gas house, the power, the mini power station, the gas house, where he says he saw people standing there. When he was coming back from that direction, then that's when he saw people running. Some, I think it refers at some stage to three running from Makumalo's house, one armed with a firearm, and he recalled that it's the boys that he saw. You know, I'm trying to summarize the statement, that those are the people he saw prior to the incident, standing there, and thereafter then see them running away, and then the community or part of the community members gave chase towards the park.
Yebo sikhona-ke noma-ke ukhona-ke ufakazi okhuluma ngokuthi-ke yebo bakhona abantu ababona-ke ngikhuluma ngaye-ke umakheleni ukuthi-ke wathi uma endlula-ke lapho wabona-ke kwakunabantu ababemi ngaphandle-ke khona lapho. Uma esebuya futhi-ke ubona-ke manje abantu sebephuma-ke bebaleka-ke bephuma khona-ke kwamakhumalo, omunye wabo-ke owayephethe isibhamu, kwase-ke lapho-ke abantu-ke noma-ke umphakathi-ke nawe kusuyasukela-ke uya ngakuhlangothi lwe-park.
This also, my Lord, is corroborated by Intabiseng. I remember she was standing outside with a friend who said after the gunshot, she first noticed one suspect running away from towards the park. I don't think she mentions the house per se, but from the direction of Makumalos, but not necessarily from the house, but towards the park. And then thereafter, I think after the second shot again, then noticed two more a suspect, and that is where she makes reference of the dreadlocks that were going up to the neck.
Bekuse lokho futhi ke abekhona ke naye uNthabiseng ukhuluma ke noma ke oshoyo ke ukuthi naye ke wabona ke abantu ababeboleka babebaleke besuka ngakuhlangothi ke lwayo indlu akasho ukuthi babephuma kuyona kodwa ukuthi babesuka ngakulelo hlangothi ke lwayo indlu noma oyedwa qala aphinde futhi akhuluma uma emuva ukuthi siqhumile futhi ke isibhamu wabona futhi ke abanye ababili ke ila esekhuluma khona ke ngomunye ke owayenama dreads.
So there are neighbors, my lord, who attest to more than two suspects being seen, my lord, outside the yard and then subsequently then running away to the direction of the park.
Ngako ke bakhona ke ofakazi ke noma omakhelwane ke abashoyo ukuthi ababonanga nje abantu ababili kuphela ke ababengaphandle ke emuva kwalokho base begijima ke.
We are not together with this question. Makeleni talks about the two persons who were standing next to a mini power station. Is that correct?
No.
You just said that. Now.
No, my lord. I'm saying at some stage, and we can go specific to those statements if
Yes.
that's going to be
What are
a
you saying?
dispute. I'm saying at some stage, my lord, he says he saw people standing next to the power station.
Yes.
This is now prior to the incident. The number that he gives, I think, is more than two, my lord.
Yes.
And then I'm saying at some stage in parts of, even with the interview with
Yes.
Stenkamp,
Yes.
he refers to seeing three suspects running out of the Makumalos, one armed with a firearm. So I'm answering this, my lord, in trying to elaborate or show
Yes.
that there was a mention of a third suspect, a third
Yes.
person, prior to the incident, which Makaleni places them outside. The guest house, my lord, we dealt with the photos, is part of the wall of the Makumalos.
Engikushoyo ke lana ukuthi ke Makeleni ke ukhuluma ngabantu ababili abadlulile ke abandlulile kwababili ababona ke sikhuluma ngale bhokisi ke yogesi ke ela engaphandle ke la kwamakhumalo noma ke esestradini ke asesho futhi ke uma eqhubeka ke ukuthi ke uma esebona abantu bephuma manje bebaleka ke ukhuluma ngabantu abathathu oyedwa kubona ke owayephethe isibhamu.
Brigadier, my question was in relation to a person, whether is there a witness or witnesses who documented a statement to the effect that he saw a person standing within the premises of Kumalo Homestead when the incident was happening inside the house. Is there a statement to that effect or not?
No, my lord, I think maybe not to mislead or say inaccurate information. Can I then ask that we come back to this question so that then I can just make sure, my lord, because like I'm saying, there are statements in the docket which indicates more than one person being seen. I just want to confirm the position of the Ngashes because I know the senior, the warrant officer, made a statement and I just don't remember the context of what he saw when he looked over the window. So I would like perhaps if we can come back to that aspect so that I can check, my lord, what is it he said in relation to what he observed when he was looking from his house to the Kumalos during the commotion of the struggle, my lord.
Ngizocela ukuthi sibuyele kuona ke lombuzo lana ngoba ngiyafisa ukuthi ngihambe ngiyobheka kuzona ke istatement ikakhulukazi ke laba bakwaNgcatshe ubaba wakhona ke okuyi warrant officer ukuthi uthini ke kwistatement sakho ukuthi wabonani ke yena ke eyayenzeka kwamakhumalo nkathi ayebuka ngefastela.
I request that we take a short adjournment. It is 11:48. In the meantime, the Brigadier is going to
11?
go through the statements.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
15 minutes then.
through the statement of Masesina, the warrant officer, he doesn't mention specifically seeing people outside the yard. However, my lord, if you go to A47, that is a statement of Bonginkosi Nkabinde. And if you go to paragraph 5, I'll just read the relevant portion, my lord, because the statement was disclosed. Paragraph 5 reads as follows. Myself and my body then left the spaza shop to go home. As we passed Kelly's mother's house, we saw two unknown black males standing in the dark in front of Kelly's mother's house. One of the two men was standing and talking on the phone. One of the two men was sitting down, and he had a brown jacket with white horizontal lines on the chest. The other part, my lord, describe other things.
Okay. Lana ke umbuzo ukuthi ke ubhekile yini ukuthi ke zikhona yini itatimende uthi ke ubhekade ubhekile ke kwesakhe ubaba ungatshe owayeyiphoyisa akukho ke akushoyo yena ngabantu ababona kodwa sikhona ke la u-A47 istatement sakhe uBonginkosi Nkabinde sifundeka ngalendlela kwakuyimina noma body sahamba ke saya esitolo Okay, siya ekhaya nanjengoba sasendlula ke kaBokheli noma emzini kaMakakheli sabona abalisa ababili abamnyama esingabazi ababemi ngaphandle noma ke kwakumnyama la babemi ngakhona ke kaBokheli endlini kaMakakheli omunye wabo noma walaba ababini wayeme ngaphandle wayekhuluma ocingweni noma efonini yakhe. Omunye wabo ke yena wayehlezi phansi egqoke ijacket eyayibrown ngombala enemiga emhlophe la esifubeni.
Yes, madam. That's the closest statement that I can find insofar as people that were in the house. And the court will recall that insofar as what the investigation revealed, there were two spotters. Our investigation were able to reveal that accused 1 was outside as well as accused 4.
Iloko ke engikutholileke noma ke okutholakele kwitatimende ekhuluma ke ngabantu lapho ababengaphandle ke futhi ke nophenyo lethu ke esakuthola ke uma siphenya ke ukuthi babe babili abantu ababemi ngaphandle ke ababebhekile phecelezi ke kwamaphoyisa ke ekuthiwa ama spotters umsola wokuqala kanye nowesine.
And this is prior to now this assertion that he then went in when accused 2 was running out, my lord.
Lokho ke kungaphambi kokuthi kwalokho ke okuye kwavela ke kokuthi ke uma ngaba umsola wesibili esephuma yena ke unumber 4 wangena ngaphakathi.
Does that statement say where these people were in relation to the house?
Yes, it says outside.
In front, outside. Where exactly?
No, my lord, it doesn't. What I read, that's why I read it verbatim.
Yes.
That's what it says. It simply says Kelly's mother's house.
Ngifundeke ngalendlela ekubhalwe ngayo ke lana ukuthi ke emzini kaMakakheli.
So those people were unidentified.
No, my lord, the deponent says. Can I finish, Advocate?
Yes, they are unknown. That's a question.
Yeah, but can I have the indulgence of just finishing?
Okay, just finish.
So that we don't speak, on top of each other.
That's fine.
The statement indicates, my lord, that the suspects that the deponent saw were unknown to him. And
Yes.
if it goes further, and that's why he was surprised, because it's not people that he knows to be local residents. So they were unknown, it's not people that he knows, my lord.
Le statement indlela esifundeka ngayo ke uthi lo muntu owabhala ke noma ke obhala statement ukuthi ke abantu ayengabazi yena akusuka ukuthi ke abantu ke balapho ke endaweni abahlala khona lapho uthi abantu angabazi.
So does that statement say that when this person now identify or see these people who were standing outside, one smoking, the other one in his honchos, the incident was happening inside the house? Does he say that?
I beg your pardon, sorry, my lord, I didn't understand the question.
Does he say that when he observed these two persons, the incident was happening inside the house? Does this person whom you have just read his statement mention that when he saw these two people, the incident was happening inside the house? Do you
But
understand the
I'm
question?
not sure whether I should read then the entire statement, because this deponent places these people in the house, and this is before the incident happened, because then he indicates that after seeing these people, then he narrates what happened afterwards, and that's when he learned that there was a shooting incident and Senzo was then shot. So, but prior to the shooting, so the placement of these people, according to the statement, is before the incident took place, my lord.
Ingaba lo muntu uyasho yini ke ukuthi ngale nkathi ebona labantu ke abashoyo ke la ukuthi ke isigameko sasenzeka ke ngaphakathi endlini mhlambe ke kuzofanele ukuthi ke istatement ngesifunde sonke ke ngoba ke uma ke esho ke ukuthi ubone labantu ungaphambilini kokuthi ke isigameko senzeke ke kamuva ke useyasho ukuthi ngase ngithola ke ngizwa ukuthi ke kwaba nokudubula kwenzeka ke lapha yana wase eseyadubuleka uSenzo.
I'm interested in this, Brigadier, because the two witnesses, Tumelo Madlala and Twala, Mthokozisi Twala, they are saying at some point they went outside, Tumelo went outside for a smoke.
Yeah, my lord, I think
Before
that
the incident.
I'm not sure how should I assist with that, my lord.
Angazi ke ukuthi angilekelele kanjani ke kulokho ummeli ke uthi ke ngoba ke ubufakazi bakhe ke uTumelo kanye naye ke uMthokozisi kubathi ke ngaphambi kokuthi isigameko lesi senzeke ke baphuma ke baya ngaphandle ke la uTumelo ayobhema khona.
But I think we have taken it too far. I was asking the question, Brigadier, as to at the stage when this incident is happening inside the house, is there a witness who says that he observes an unknown person, one person, standing outside the house on guard? That's a question I'm asking to you.
Yeah, but my lord, I think I answered, and that's why I said Mr. Ngashi didn't say that. But you see, this is the thing, my lord. When statements are composed, witnesses dispose statements according to what I saw. According to what they saw. So they close the statement. That's why I said the closest statement that one could find is this one of Bunginko Sinkabinde, who identifies seeing people outside Kelly Kumalo's house, because I understood the question to be saying, is there evidence in the docket that suggests that there were people seen outside the Kumalo's house? That's how I understood the question, and that's why I said the closest to that is this one insofar as A47 is concerned, my lord.
Brigadier wena ke umpenduleke uyithatheke wayakudeke nayo ngoba ke mina uma bengibuza ke ngibuzile ukuthi ingabe ukhona yini umuntu othi wabona umuntu oyedwa, ngikhulume ngomuntu oyedwa owayemi ngaphandle ke emuzini lawo ke wakwaBokheli nkathi isigameko senzeka ke. Ingakho ngishilo mina ke uma ngiphendula ukuthi ke lesi ke sakhe ke uncatsha akukho ngikutholile, kodwa ke esisondele sona ke leso yisona lesi esikabonga inkosi Nkabinde othi kunabantu ababona bemi ngaphandle kaBokheli.
What is the answer to the question that I've just asked?
But what is the question, my lord?
The question that is there a statement from witnesses who say I saw a person standing on guard when the incident was happening inside the house. Is there a statement to that effect?
No, there's no such statement,
Yes.
my lord.
Asikho istatement esinjalo sofakazi noma ufakazi uthi kunomuntu engambona owayemi ebhekileke owemi ngaphandle.
He also stated, Brigadier, that there is no statement from the witnesses to the effect that when the two alleged intruders had left, there was another person who entered the house. Do you confirm that?
There is no statement, my lord, of a witness who says that.
Asikho istatement sofakazi oshoyo ukuthi ke uma noma sebephumileke laba ababili ekuthiwa yibona abangena endlini ukhona omunye owangena. Asikho istatement
Do you also confirm, Brigadier, that my client, Mr. Mapisa, was not identified either by the witnesses inside the house or by the neighbors at all material times when this incident was taking place? Do you confirm that?
Yeah, my lord. Well, look, yes, I can confirm that.
Yes.
But that question needs to be explored further, my lord. None of the accused, not only Mr. Mapisa, none of them from 1 to 4 was was identified by the neighbors or by people who were inside the house, specifically during the course of my investigation. None. It is evidence that was collected, my lord, that connects accused number 4 to this matter.
Kuyiqiniso yini ke ukuthi ke akukho umuntu ofaka noma kuba komakhelwane kanye futhi nalabo ababephakathi endlini abakhombayo ke engimele uMapisa ukuthi ke waye ingxenye ke lapho yebo kuyiqiniso, kodwa lokho ke akupheli nje kuphela ke kuMapisa, kodwa ke nabo bonke ke abasolwa kusuka ku number 1 yofica ke ku number 5 abekho ke abantu noma yilabo ababesendlini noma amakhelwane abathi baba abakhomba ukuthi bababona ke, kodwa ke uphenyo ke olwaveza noma olwadalula ke ukuthi ngempela ke noma uMapisa ke waye ingxenye.
Let us put aside, Brigadier, the two confession statements, the one on the 19th and the one on the 24th of June 2020. is there evidence when you put aside the two confession statements to the effect that accused number 4, Mr. Mapisa, was present at the scene at 135W1 Kutwaneng Street when this offense was committed?
Yes, so if you have to look at other evidence that was obtained that implicates accused number 4, my lord, the latest, I'll start the latest and go backwards, is Constable Zungu, that's the first one.
Ingaba khona yini ke ubufakazi asihlukaneke noma ke singakhulumi ke ngedocument noma lezo gonyuka ama confessions ke esithi ke umsolwa wesine ke wayekhona ke noma wabonwa ke wa 1351 kuTlwanong Street. Yebo, ngizoqala ke soqala uConstable Zungu.
Brigadier, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm going to request you, Brigadier, to refer to the evidence of persons or witnesses who have already testified before court. In this court, now, is there evidence on record?
No, but my lord, I was not sitting in court. I mean,
on record, Brigadier. I'm sorry that I had to interrupt you. My question, so that you understand it very well. Is there evidence on record since the inception of this trial, placing the accused, that is accused number 4, at the crime scene where this incident occurred? Is there evidence to that effect?
My lord, I didn't sit through the proceedings, so I will not be able to explain the evidence that was led by experts and the witnesses that came to testify. So that will be difficult. I can only refer to what I wanted to refer to insofar as the evidence that link accused number 4 in the commission of this offense.
Mina ke engifuna ukwazi kuwena ke Brigadier ukuthi khona yini ke ubufakazi njengoba icala leli liqulwa ke la enkantolo obukhombayo ukuthi ke umsolwa wesine ke wayekhona ke noma ke engxenye ke lokho kwenzeka lapho eKutwanong Street 13511. Angeke ube kunganzima ke ukuthi ngikusho ke lokho njengoba bengingahlezi ke phakathi enkantolo ukuthi ngizwe ofakazi ke noma ke ongoti ukuthi ke bathini ke ngaphandle kwalokho nje ebengifuna ukuthi ngikusho.
On record, Brigadier, we do have the evidence. I'm still going to come to that evidence, the evidence of Zongo. Is there any other evidence on record which places accused number 4, Mr. Mapisa, at the crime scene?
My lord, as I've said, the difficulty that I'm having is that I was not sitting in court. Even Zongo, I know insofar as that he gave evidence, but if then I'm being asked specifically what he said, it will be difficult because I didn't go through his evidence. I was not in court. I can only refer to the evidence that I've collected which links accused number 4 in the commission of this offense, my lord.
Nanjengoba ngishilo ke ukuthi ke bengekho ke la ngaphakathi ke enkantolo ukuthi ngizwe ukuthi ofakazi bathini ke naye ke uZungu ke angikwazi ke akushilo nanjengoba bengahlezi ke la enkantolo kodwa ke ubufakazi ke engihlanganisile ke kuphenyo okulona ke ohlanganisa umsolwa wesine kanye naso isigameko.
Is it also correct that from the evidence of Ms. Makete, he couldn't physically identify and place accused number 4 at the crime scene? He just saw 3 male persons running away from the crime scene. Do you confirm that?
Is it Miss
Mokete?
Mokete.
Yes. Mtabiseng Mokete.
My recollection of Mukete, yes, I mean it's a description, my lord, of what she saw. I don't think, like I said, my lord, none of the witnesses, if I can just put it that way, be it inside or outside, identifies any of the accused specifically by names. They were not known, my lord. That's the general, I think, statement that one can put. So you will not have a witness, be it the persons who were inside the house or outside, who were able to say, for example, accused number 1 was the person who committed this offense, or accused number 4. You don't have that. That's why I said it is the investigation that led to the identification and involvement of this accused in this matter, my lord.
Akekho ufakazi noma ke kulabo ababe phakathi endlini noma ke omakhelwane labo ababe ngaphandle ke abakhombayo noma basho ke nanjengoba babe ngabazi ke noma amagama abo bengawazi abakhombayo ke abasola noma umsola oyedwa bathi umsola uthize wayekhona ke nanjengoba ngishilo ukuthi uphenyo okuyilona oluholele ekuthini ke abasola labo ke bahlanganiswe naso isigameko lesi.
Brigadier also testified that the planning of this incident took place at the hostel, Basotweni Hostel. Do you confirm that?
I do confirm that, my lord.
Ushilo ke kubufakazi bakho Brigadier ukuthi ke ukuhlelwa ke kwesigameko lesi noma kwalokhu ke okwenzeka ke kwenzeka eBasotho hostel yebo ngishilo.
Where did you get this information, other than the confession statement of accused number 2, the ones that he made on the 19th and the 24th of June, 2020? Where do you get this information that the planning took place at the hostel, Basotho hostel?
But my lord, that assertion comes exactly after the confession of accused 2 kicked in. So you can't distance the confessions from the utterances, because it is the confessions of accused 2 in particular that indicates what happened in the hostel. Then subsequent to that, you then get corroborating statements of Sifiso Zungu and other people that were interviewed, Piwe Buthelezi, Makosonke. But it kicks in from there, because prior to that, there was no such assertion that there was a planning at the hostel. We didn't know that there was a planning at the hostel until the confessions of accused number 2 came into existence, my lord.
Manje ke ngaphandle kokuthi ke noma ke ungasho ke noma ungakhulumi ngestatement sokugonyuluka sakhe ke umsolo wesibili, ukuthola kuphi ke lokho ukuthi ke ukuhlelwa ke kwalokhu kwenzeka eBasotho hostel, kodwa ke awukwazi nje ukuthi ke ungaqhelanisa ke lokho ukuthi ke ukuhlelwa kwalokhu kwenzeka ehostel kanye futhi nestatement sokugonyuluka sakhe umsolwa wesibili, ngoba ila kuphume khona noma kuvele khona ke ukuthi ke ukuhlelwa kwalokhu kwenzeka ehostel, ubusuthola ke itatimende zabo oSifiso Zungu, uSimphiwe Buthelezi kanye futhi naye uMakhosonke.
Yes, so in essence, my lord, what I'm saying, prior to the existence of the confession statement, in particular of accused number 2, there were no attributions by me as the investigating officer that there was a planning that took place at the hostel, because we didn't know, my lord.
Futhi ke angisho nje ukuthi ke ngaphambilini kokuthi ke sibe khona ke istatement lesi sakhe umsolo wesibili, bekungekho ke okubuya kimi na njengomphenyi ke wecala leli ukuthi ukuhlelwa kwalokhu kwenzeka ehostel.
Other than the confession statement of accused number 2, I'm not going to go to the contents of the statement regarding the planning as to who did what. But other than the 2 confession statements, is there a statement from the witness who said, I was there, I heard what happened or what was discussed during the planning? Is there a statement to that effect?
My lord, what you have is a statement, for example, of Sifiso Zungu Kwabeni, who places the accused in the hostel. You then have the statement of Constable Zungu, who places them there and having discussions. You then have the statement of Simphiwe Buthelezi, who indicates specifically what accused 4 and accused 3 told him about their involvement in this matter. So you need to take this collectively, because Simphiwe Buthelezi, if you take his statement, indicates the involvement of accused, because he was interacting with them, in particular accused number 4 and 3. Insofar as this matter is concerned, and then what then he was told. But then you also then have these witnesses who then places the accused together at the hostels, my lord. So the contents as to whether you have an eardrop or someone who said, I witnessed this thing directly, my lord, we don't have. What we have is someone who places them together prior to the incident, leaving, coming out, and subsequently them learning that this offense was then committed and the accused were involved, my lord.
Ingaba ukhona yini ufakazi noma istatement esofakazi esishoyo ke ukuthi ke yebo impela ke ngiyazi ngangikhona ngezwa kushiwo lokhu nalokhu ngathi ke kuhlelwa isigameko lesi, yebo akekho ke umuntu oyedwa othi ke yebo ngangikhona ngezwa kukhulunywa lokhu, kodwa ke kunalabo fakazi ke ubizile uSifiso Zungu uGwabeni, uConstable Zungu kanye futhi naye ke uSimphiwe Buthelezi. uSimphiwe Buthelezi yena ke uyasho ukuthi yini ayitshelwa ngumsolo wesithathu kanye nowesine mayelana ke nokubandakanyeka kwabo noma ke ingxenye ke ababa nayo ke kusona ke isigameko lesi.
So after this exercise, Brigadier, of giving such a long answer, your final answer is there is no witness who had or who was with the accused when the planning of this incident occurred. Is that what you are saying?
No, my lord, I'm saying there are witnesses who saw the accused at Basotho hostel prior to this incident. There are witnesses who saw them talking, and then thereafter they departed, they came back, there were utterances made by accused number 1 which relates to this matter. Then later, my lord, other witnesses came on board where the accused, in particular accused number 4, for example, confessed to this private person during a certain directives that he gave. So you need to take this collective. You can't isolate and say, I want someone who was there and then subsequently went out and became a 204. The closest person that we have in the investigation who was directly involved, that is accused number 2, and that is contained in his confession, my lord.
Sorry, just a minute. Lana ke kuzofanele ke ubheke ke noma ke ukuthi ke yini ke eyenzeka bakhona ke ofakazi abathi ke bababona ehostel abasolwa ke behlangene bekhuluma base beyahamba ke babuya ke la ababeye khona ke uma bebuya ke kukhona ke okwakhulunywa ke khona okwashiwo uyena umsolwa woqala mayelana nesigameko lesi kanye futhi ke kukhona nokugonyuluka ke okwenziwa uyena umsolwa wesine kumuntu thizeni mayelana ke naloko akwaziyo ke ngaso isigameko lesi bese kuba khona ke futhi nestatement sakhe umsolwa wesibili la agonyuluka khona manje kufanele ukuthathe konke lokho ukuhlanganise.
And one of those statements, my lord, you simply have to read the statement of Kwabeni, Sifiso Zungu. Then you'll understand the context of how he places or how he explains the events unfolded, placing all the accused, what he learned after, the interaction when he interacted with some of the accused, and the feedback they gave him as to what happened and what he witnessed. You have to read that, then you'll understand, my lord, what I'm saying.
Kuzofanele futhi ke ufundeke istatement sakhe uGwabeni uSifiso Zungu ukuthi ke kwenzekani ke ukhuluma kwakhe ke uxoxisana kwakhe ke nabasolwa ke noma abanye baboke yini abayisho ke bona kuyena ke lapho ke usuza thola ke konke ke manje ukuthi yini eyenzeka.
And this assertion, my lord, is insofar as what happened in the hostel. That's why I refer to Sifiso Zungu, because his involvement is the activities that took place prior to the incident when he witnessed the accused before court, and then after when they came back after the incident had taken place, and then subsequently other discussion which he had with some of the accused where the involvement was then confirmed to him as well. So that is relevant insofar as Basuchini Hostel is concerned.
Lokhu ke engikhulumayo ke ngikhuluma ke ngokwenzeka ke ehostel Basuthu Hostel ila khona ke ashoyo ke uGwabeni ke nkathi ke belapho abasolwa kukhulunywa ke lapho sebehamba ke bebuya ke kanye futhi ke nezinto ke ezashiwo kamuva ke abanye babasolwa ke.
I do have the statement of Zungu Kwaben, the Sifiso Zungu. Is that Kwaben?
Yes. No. Yeah, Sifiso
Yes.
Zungu Kwabeni. Yes. It was taken by me.
Yes, I do have it.
Yes.
It's here.
Yes.
But I'm not going to leave this question hanging, Brigadier, because to me, Brigadier, it looks like you are not prepared to answer this question, the simple question that I'm asking you, Brigadier. Do you want me to repeat the question for you? I'm not talking about the placement of the accused at the hostel. We will come to that.
My lord, that's why I said one needs to, unless then we read the statement of Zungu, because Sifiso Zungu is related to some of the accused before court. We're not talking about a stranger. It's someone who is related to some of these accused. There were interactions, is even related to Constable Zungu. There were interactions directly with him, with some of the accused. There were utterances made by accused number 1 after the incident took place with regard to the death of Senzo Meyiwa. There were interactions that he had with some of the accused in the homelands with regard to this matter. This is relevant because it's happening at the hostel, and I thought that is the question that I'm being asked as to who in the hostel can confirm the planning, this conspiracy that took place. Constable Zungu was there, but this Kwabeni, I refer to him because he had interactions with them, my lord, and subsequently there were confessions made to him by some of the accused about their involvement in this matter. That is why, I was saying the statement speaks for itself, my lord.
Lana ke ongikhuluma ngako ke yena ke uGwabeni lona ngoba ke umele uthi ngeke ngiliyeke ke udaba lolu ke ngoba ke umbuzo lona ke ongawuphendulileke kodwa mina ke engikhuluma mhlambe indlela ke umbuzo engibuzwe ngayo ukuthi ke ukhona yini umuntu ngoba ingako ngishilo ukuthi ngikhuluma ngokwenzeka lapha yana ehostel owezwa ke ingako ngisho ke ukuthi yena ke ugwabeni ke uhlobene ke nabanye ke babasolwa ke laba kanye naye futhi ke uConstable Zungu ukhuluma ke ngaloko okwenzeka ehostel abasolwa behamba bebuya abanye naloko kwashiwa uyena ke umsolo wokuqala mayelana ke nokushona kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa nokuthi futhi ke nezinto ezakhulunywa noma okwakhulunywa kuyena ke sebesemakhaya nalapho abanye babasolwa ke laba abagonyuluka kuyena.
The planning, the word planning, Brigadier, means orchestration of something. It cannot be post facto. It cannot be post facto, Brigadier. I'm meaning by planning before the incident. It was, my question was in relation to before the incident. Is there a person at the hostel who was with the accused, as it is said that the accused were at the hostel, who was with the accused, and he had the orchestration or the planning of this offense? Is there a person?
My lord, it's not post facto. I think if Advocate Malo is saying, is there a witness that says before the accused left, they told me they're going to kill Senzo Meyiwa? No, we don't have that. But what we have, and that's why I said you need to look at Sifiso Zungu's statements, because it illustrates the chain of events before the incident took place. He places them in the hostel, the meeting that took place, even though he may not have had directly, but what transpired, then them leaving, them coming back to the hostel, one of the accused announcing that Senzo have just been killed at a stage when the news have not even announced. The statement goes further to say, when this utterances that Senzo Meyiwa has been killed, we did not believe it because at that stage it was not even in the news. It was not known that this person was assassinated or was killed by any form. It only came later. Then he explains the chain of events after this announcement, them getting to know about that, the interaction that he had, which confirmed in terms of the private confession that was made to him that indeed they were involved in the killing of the deceased and why he was kept away. So the statement speaks for itself. This person was directly involved, my lord.
Mina ke lana uma kuukuthi umbuzo uthi ke ingabe khona yini umuntu othi ngaphambilini kokuthi abasola bahambeke beza ke kuyena lo muntu bamtshela ke ukuthi manje siyahamba siyokwenza lokho noma siyobulala uSenzo, cha asinako ke lokho. Kodwa ke ugwabeni lona ke uyakusho ke noma ke ukhuluma ngento eyenzeka ke ngaphambi kokuthi ke isigameko lesi senzeke, abasolwa ke behlezi lapho bekhuluma noma kuukuthi lokho angazange akutshelwe ke noma kushiwo kuyena ke, kodwa ke ukuthi nje babe khona ke lapho behleli bexoxa ke base beyahamba babuya ke kwashiwo lokhu okwashiwo ke kulo msolwa ke awakusho ke mayelana nokuthi uSenzo useshonile, futhi ekusho ke nalokho ukuthi uma kushiwo ke lokho kushiwo ke kungekabikho ke noma kungakakhulunywa ngako ke naseyindabeni ke, kodwa ke kamuva ke uma sebekuzwa ke manje useyakuhlanganisa ke nalokho akutsheliwe ke nalokho futhi awakutshelwa ke abanye babasolwa ke bevuma ke kuyena ukuthi ngempela ke babe yingxenye noma babe khona ke uma kwenzeka lokho.
So there is no witness before. Sorry, may I rephrase the question? So there is no witness who says before, as it is said that the accused were at the hostel, before the accused left, he was present with the accused and he had the planning. There is no witness who says that.
There's no witness, my lord, that says he heard them saying we are now going to go and kill Senzo Meyiwa.
Yes.
But we do have a witness that places them in the hostel before,
Yes.
then they leave, then they come back, utterances are made, and then confessions are made at the later stage as to what was happening, what was their role, and so forth. So that's what we had. And that is why I'm saying, my lord, when you conduct investigation, and unfortunately, I think I'm trying to get a sense of where Advocate Nomalo is going. But you need to look, and that's why I keep on going back to say, you need to look at Sifiso Zungu's statement collectively. Then you understand the chain of the events that unfolded. That's why I said it's not post facto, because he is able to place the accused before, and then they leave. Then the incident takes place. Then they come back. Then utterances in relation to the death of the deceased are made by one of the accused, Subsequent to that, certain events unfold. He explains them, my lord, and I don't want to say them as if now because Mr. Mgomezulu is not here, because they relate to accused number 1. But certain incidences, other than what happened in relation to this matter and in suppressing it, takes place, you know, and he explains them up to the time when the conclusions are made. So there is this person who was present in the hostel, other than Makosonke, by the way, who was also present in the hostel, and also make utterances, my lord, in terms of what he was told by accused 1 and 2, and then subsequently Constable Zungu as well, who was also at the hostel.
Lana ke ingako ngishilo ukuthi ke statement sakhe ke uSifiso Gwabeni uSifiso Zungu uGwabeni kufanele ke usibhekeke wesipheleleke noma usibheke sisonke ke ngoba ke uyasho ke ukuthi ngaphambilini kokuthi ke kuhanjwe ke babe khona ke belapha ehostel kwahanjwa ke babuya ke kukhona ke ukuthize okwashiwo ke umsolwa ke lana phambi kwalenkantolo mayelana nokushona kwakhe ke yena ke uSenzo kamuva ke nokuthi futhi abanye babo ke base besho ke izinto ethi noma bevuma ke kena ukuthi ngempela ke babe khona ke lapha ngaphandle nje kwakhe ke yena ke uMakhosonke kanye futhi naye ke uSimphiwe futhi ke kena ke uMakhosonke ke kunezinto engafuni ke uzisho ngoba ke engekho lana kwakumngomezulu kodwa ke khona nokwashiwo kuyena ke uMakhosonke uyena umsolo wokuqala kanye nowesibili.
How did you meet Zungu? The
I beg your
police.
pardon, my lord.
How did you meet Zungu, the police?
So, my lord, I received a call. I dealt with this evidence, my lord. I received a call from the former national commissioner who indicated that there is a person who has information about the death of Senzo Meyiwa. That's how I met him. Prior to that,
Okay.
yes, so that's how we met, my lord. Then I went to the national commissioner's office, and then I was introduced to Constable Zungu. That's how we met, my lord.
Ngathola ucingo ke ukuthi ngahlangana kanjani ke naye uConstable Zungu ukuthi ke ngathola ucingo olubuya ke kwaku yena National Commissioner ngaleso sikhathi ke ukuthi ke kunomuntu ke one information anayo ke mala nokushona kwakhe ke uSenzo ngase ngiya ke e-office lakhe ke ngahlangana lapho ke noma ngaleyo ndlela naye ku Constable Zungu.
By Zungu, I mean Sizwe Skhumbuzo Zungu.
No, I met him in the course of the investigation, my
Yes.
lord. When his name came up, he was traced, I think, by crime intelligence, then eventually was found, my lord. So we met during the course of investigation.
No, khuluma uSkhumbuzo uSizwe Zungu ngahlangana naye ke uma ke uphenyo luqhubeka.
Where did you meet him?
When I took the statement, my lord, we were at Primrose. You mean, where did I meet him?
Yes, where did you meet him?
I met him at Primrose, my lord.
Ngahlangana naye ePrimrose
Where in Primrose?
At the police station.
police station.
That's where the statement was taken and commissioned, my lord.
Ila statement esathatha khona sasesifuthi siyafungelwa ke.
You mean the one that was taken in 2023? Last year?
Oh, I thought you meant Kwabeni. My apologies.
No, I'm not talking about Gwaben.
Oh,
I
no,
even
no,
said
the-
to you, Brigadier, that
No, my apologies. My apologies.
no,
I
it's fine. The
misunderstood.
apology accepted. I
Yeah,
mean
no.
Constable Sizwe Skhumbuzo Zungu.
Oh, no, my apologies. So I met him first, my lord, at the commissioner's office. Then the statement was taken at our office, my lord, in Pretoria. My apologies, not Primrose.
Makhuluma ngaye ke uConstable Zungu yena ngahlangana naye ke office lika commissioner istatement sakhe sathathelwa ke ku office lami noma ke office lethu ePretoria.
I mean for the first time.
No, the first time, my lord, as I said, it was the office of the national commissioner, which is the Telkom Towers. That's
Yes.
where the former national commissioner was sitting. So that's where I met him for the first time.
Mangihlangana naye okokuqala ke kuma Telkom Towers ila iNational Commissioner ke ioffice lakhe lalikhona ngaleso sikhathi.
Who was that national commissioner?
Former General Khetla Sithole, my lord.
Ilowo kwaku General Khetla Sithole.
When was that?
I think it will be 2019, my lord, somewhere in 2019, my lord.
Ngicabanga ukuthi kwakungu 2019.
Do you remember the month?
No, I don't remember, my lord, but my recollection, it will be before, I think, the Easters. I don't remember the month, but I'm definitely sure, my lord, it was in 2019, my lord.
Nginaso ke isiqiniseko kwakungu 2019 inyanga ke angikhumbuli kodwa nje ngaphambi kwama Easter.
Do you remember the date?
No, I don't, my lord.
The date angikhumbuli.
The date, insofar as my interaction with Constable Zungu, my lord, I remember the later ones where now the statement of his father becomes prevalent. And that is the date of the 12th of November, 2019, when we were supposed to meet. That appointment was then postponed to the 13th of November, where I met him with Brigadier Perumal And then in that meeting, the positive outcome was that the father was now prepared to dispose an affidavit. And subsequently on the 18th or 19th of November, we then met. That's when the statement of Absalom Zungu. So that is a meaningful meaning where we now had something that we can document. That was late 2019, my lord.
Ama-date engiwakhumbulayo-ke yilana-ke unyaka usuhambile-ke ngeyi-12 masihlangana-ke futhi-ke ngazo i-13 November 2019 naye-ke ubrigadier Peruman la esesitshela khona-ke ukuthi ubabakhe useyimisele ukuthi-ke anikeze nge-statement base emuva kwalokho-ke i-18 noma ngeyi-19 zika-November 2019 uma ubaba wakhe esezakhe.
No, sorry, my lord. The statement by the father was made on the 17th of November 2019, my lord.
I-statement esikababa wakhe-ke sona-ke senziwe ngeyi-17 zika-November 2019.
So you met Zungu, Constable Zungu, through the National Commissioner?
Yes, I met him at the office of the National Commissioner. As I indicated, my lord, I was called and I then drove to the office of the National Commissioner and I found him there with the PA of the former National Commissioner, my lord.
Yebo ngahlangana naye-ke noma ngahlanganiswa naye-ke i-National Commissioner yena-ke uConstable Zungu nanje mangishilo ukuthi ngathola ucingo ngase ngishayela ngiyakhona-ke ila engamthola khona.
So you don't know who phoned Constable Zungu informing him that he must come to the offices of the National Commissioner, where you were going to meet him?
No. My lord, the arrangement as to how we got there, I was
don't
not.
know?
No. What I know is the call I received from the office of NATCOM himself to
Yes.
say there's this person, and then I made my way to the former National Commissioner's office. Then I was introduced to Constable Zungu.
Yes.
Ukuthi-ke yena-ke wafika kanjani-ke ehhovisi ka-National Commissioner lokho angikwazi ngazi ukuthi-ke yena-ke uCommissioner waseshayela mina-ke ucingo ngamthola-ke mina lapho.
You said, Brigadier, what was the date that the meeting did not materialize?
The 12th of November, my lord,
Kwakungeyi-12 kaNovember la khona umhlangano
2019.
umhlangano ungazange uqhubeke khona-ke 12 November 2019.
And the fault was on our side, my lord. It was scheduled, then I had to phone. I know the involvement of Major General Ishabane was
Yes.
he was present, so then we had to reschedule to the 13th of November
Yes.
2019, and then we met on that day with Brigadier Perumal and Constable Zungu, my lord.
Ngiyazi-ke ukuthi-ke iphutha-ke la ngakuthina-ke ngoba-ke ngiyazi naye-ke uMajor General Lishabane owayekhona-ke kodwa kwafanele ukuthi siwuhlehliseke umhlangano kuze kube ngazo i-13 zikaNovember 2019 kanye naye-ke uConstable Zungu.
Is there anything that you ask him in relation to this offense, to this incident, on the 13th of November 2019? Is there anything that you ask Zungu about this incident?
My lord, I don't recall. My recollection, no. My recollection of the meeting, as I've said, my lord, it was a follow-up of him introducing the father, and hence I said it was a meaningful meeting. There would have been discussion, obviously, Brigadier Perumal spoke to him, but the essence or the prominent thing that came out for me is that there was then this agreement that the father is willing to see us, and then arrangements were made for the 17th for him to come through. That's really what was prominent, my lord. But yes, there were discussions, I think, with Brigadier Perumal who spoke to him, my lord. But for me, it was the issue of the father, my lord.
Kukhona-ke uBrigadier Peruman akhuluma naye ngakho-ke mayelana necala leli-ke kodwa kumina-ke okumayelana nodaba lukababa wakhe-ke ukuthi ubaba wakhe eze-ke ingakho ngishilo-ke ukuthi-ke kwakunemiphumela-ke kuwona umhlangano ngoba-ke wasesitshela-ke ukuthi ngempela kubabakhe uvumile-ke ukuthi eze azonikeza ngaso i-statement.
So you did not ask him anything, Brigadier, for instance, asking him a question whether he knows anything about the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. You did not ask him any question to that effect.
No, my lord, the meeting was not about that. I think I've testified earlier that when I met him at the National Commissioner's office, the names of the accused were mentioned. The father as being the one who told him about the activities that took place were then were discussed. Subsequent to that, then I asked him to arrange a meeting with his father, which was a difficulty in fear of reprisal, for them being exposed. And that was going on, my lord, right up to the time when I lost contact of his number and then had to ask Major General Lishabane to assist in locating him for me because I was aware he was working under his cluster. That was done when we met on the 13th, my lord. It was on my side, it was a follow-up of where are we standing with the father. And as I said, my father, the response was that now the father is willing to meet with us. But on the same vein, my lord, was also to introduce Brigadier Perumal, because at that time I was a colonel. So this was now the most senior person who was a lead now in the team. That was done and interacted with him, my lord. So we didn't discuss the knowledge of him being involved, but I didn't discuss with him, my lord. That was done at a later stage where I said, but your name came up in numerous times on the matter, because at that stage, my lord, it should be noted, in 2019, 17th of November 2019, there was, I didn't have information, I didn't have any statement that says he was present at the hostel. It was after the statements of the likes of Makosonke, the likes of Sifiso Zungu Kwabeni came up later the following year, that then his name came up, and then that interaction started insofar as that party is concerned.
Uma ke sihlangana ke lapho ke kwangasikonaka ukuthi ke ngimbuze ke noma ngibuze yena ke ukuthi ke wazini ke mayelana nesigameko lesi kwakuwukuthi ke usezositshela noma esazisa ukuthi ubaba wakhe owamnikeza ke noma ke owamtshela lokhu la kuvela khona ke amagama ke abasolwa ke ababili khona ke manje ke nokuthi ke asazizeke ukuthi na ubaba wakhe useyimisele ukuthi ke eze ke manje azonikeza ngaso istatement sakhe futhi ke eqaleni washo ke nokuthi ke isizathu wayenako ke ukusaba ubaba wakhe ke isona ke izathu lesi esesingabangela ukuthi ke angafuni ukuthi ke avele noma ke eze ngaphambili ke kodwa ke kamuva ke esezositshela ke manje ukuthi ubaba wakhe useyimisele ke ukuthi ke ezokwenza istatement kodwa ngazo i17 kaNovember 2019 akukho enganginako noma istatement esasikhona esasisho ukuthi ke uyena uConstable Zungu wayenolwazi noma wayekhona ke lapho kukamuva ke uma sengizombuza ke ngithi ke na ke kodwa igama lakho lihlezi nje njalo livela ke ukuthi wawukhona ke uma ke isigameko lesi sesenzeka ke lokho kwenzeka manje mase kutholakala istatement zabo Makhosonke oSifiso Gwabeni Zungu kunyaka olandelayo.
Brigadier, my question is about 14 words. It's a simple question. It's 14 words. My question to you is the following. When you meet Constable Zungu on the 13th of November 2019, this is a question that I'm asking to you. Did you ask him, what do you know about the killing of Senzo Meyiwa? Yes or no?
The answer is no, my lord. But
Yes,
but I qualified it to say I could not have asked that question because it was non-existent.
Thank you, Brigadier.
It was non-existent, my lord. The purpose of the meeting was insofar as the follow-up meeting with regard to his father. That was the purpose of the meeting. I was not aware of the information that I obtained at a later stage, my lord.
Umpendulo ke kumbuzo ukuthi ke nge-13 kaNovember 2019 ngambuza yini ke uConstable Zungu ukuthi khona yini akwaziyo ngokushona kwakhe uSenzo. Impendulo ke cha noma ke no, ngoba ngishilo ke ukuthi ke kungani ke ngisho kanjalo ngoba ke ngaleso sikhathi leso ke akukho engangikwazi noma enganginakho okwakungangibangela noma ngangiholela ekuthini ngimbuze loyo mbuzo lo.
At what stage did the issue of his father arose?
It arose the very same day when I met him in the office of the National Commissioner, my lord.
Udaba lukababa wakhe ke lwavela ngalelo langa uma ngihlangana naye ehhovisi lakhe uNational Commissioner.
Brigadier, I'm going to refer you to the proceedings of the 7th of September 2023. It is at a stage when Constable Zungu was being led by my colleague Advocate Baloyi. It was at the stage when he was giving evidence in chief. I'm going to start at page 43 of the record. or the proceedings of the 7th of September 2023. At line 22. Okay, let me start, my lord, I'm sorry, at line 16. Mr. Zungu, I was actually going to the National Commissioner, then the then National Commissioner referred me to Kininda. Who was the National Commissioner? That is a question now from my colleague Advocate Maloy. Who was the National Commissioner then? Mr. Zungu, Kehla Sitwan. Mr. Maloy, yes. Mr. Zungu. Then towards the end of the year, it was on the 11th of November 2019, I received a call from General Neshaban informing me that Colonel Kininda would like to see me. A meeting was set out for him to see me, but it did not happen on the day. He saw me on a different date. Mr. Maloy. Yeah. On which date did he see you, Mr. Zungu? I think it was on the 13th of November. Mr. Maloy. Yes. Who saw you on the 13th of November? Mr. Zungu, Brigadier Kininda. Mr. Maloy, yes. Mr. Zungu. Thereafter, General Neshabane called me, intervened. Mr. Maloy. Yeah, but what was discussed at the meeting with Brigadier Kininda on the 13th of November 2019? Mr. Zungu. He asked me, what do you know about the killing of Meyiwa? Mr. Maloy, yes. Mr. Zungu. I told him that I know nothing and there is nothing that I can talk about. Close quotation.
Yeah. No, I've got it. My Lord, as I've said, when we met Constable Zungu, there was Brigadier Perumal, who was my senior at the time. I was a colonel. And I know that he engaged with him. I may not recall exactly what he said. Insofar as my party is concerned, my Lord, and it's consistent with what I've said, even during the trial, within trial, it was a follow-up because the assertion that was given to me, there was no knowledge at my disposal that he was involved in the, or he has knowledge in the matter before court. I didn't have that information. The follow-up of the meeting was in relation to his father as to whether was he able to convince his father to come forward and give us a statement. And I've testified about this, my Lord, even last year on the trial within trial, even as I was dealing with the evidence in chief, my Lord, to say the purpose of the meeting was with regard to the outcome. The positive outcome was that he then told me the father is now willing to meet us for a statement, and subsequent to that, a meeting of the 17th was made, and we met the father, and then he gave the statement. That's my recollection, my Lord, and that's how the events happened, because then on the 17th of November, indeed, 2019, we met the father, and I took down the statement.
Fundeka ngalendlela ke la ubufakazi ke lokho buka bange 7 ka September 2023 bakhe ke uConstable Zungu Mr. Baloyi uma uya ke ema Telecom Towers ubani owuya kuyena ke lapho ngangiya lapho ke ngiyohlangana naye ke uCommissioner ngaleso sikhathi ke yena ke ucommissioner yena ke wase engikhomba ke kubhale lana ke Gininda Mr Baloyi kwakuubani ucommissioner ngaleso sikhathi uZungu uKhehla Sithole. Uma ke unyaka usuzophela ke kwakunge 11 kaNovember 2019 ngathola ucingo lubuya kuyena uGeneral Lishabane engazisa ukuthi ke uKolonel Gininda angathanda noma angafisa ukuthi ke angibone. Kwaba nomhlangano owahlelwa ke ukuthi ke ngibonane naye kodwa ke lo mhlangano awuzange uqhubeke ngalelo langa. Wangibona ke ngelinye ilanga kwakuyiliphi ilanga kwakunge 13 kaNovember kusho uZungu yebo. Ubani owambona nge-13 kaNovember uyaphendula uZungu uBrigadier Gininda. Emuva kwalokho ke uGeneral Lishabane waphinda wangishayela futhi ucingo. Kodwa ke yini eyakhulunywa noma eyaxoxwa kulowo mhlangano leyo uma uBrigadier kanye naye uBrigadier Gininda nge-13 kaNovember 2019 wangibuza ukuthi wazini wena ke ngokubulawa kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa. Ngamtshela ukuthi mina ke angazi lutho futhi ke akukho engakhuluma. Ngiphendula ke ufakazi uthi cha ngaleso sikhathi leso ke kwangeke ukuthi ngeke kwenzeke ukuthi ngambuza lokho ngoba alukho ulwazi enganginalo ukuthi ke uZungu khona ayekwazi ke ngishilo ukuthi nganginaye ke uBrigadier Peruman okwakuyena kwayisenior yami ngangiseyikernel mina ngaleso sikhathi engangifisa ukwazi kuyena kwakumayelana ke nobaba wakhe ukuthi ubaba wakhe ngabe useyimisele yini ukuthi eze noma yena ukwazi ukuthi akhulume nobaba wakhe ukuthi eze azonikeza ngestatement. Yilokho mina engakhuluma naye ngakho. Yebo uBrigadier Peruman khona wakhuluma yena naye ke kodwa mina ngangikhuluma mayelana nalo daba likababa wakhe.
So Brigadier, it is new to you that Constable Zungu told you this, that he did not know nothing and there was nothing that he can talk about. It is new to you.
No, my lord, I've just explained. If those utterances were said, as I've said, Brigadier Perumal was there and he did engage with Constable Zungu, they could have been made in that context. Insofar as my part is concerned, my lord, because this was a follow-up meeting, and I think even the record of Constable Zungu indicates that he met the national. We met the national commissioner referred the former one referred him to me. Then later in the year, then there's this meeting. So what I was sitting with was that there is this person who is father, who has knowledge about the people involved in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa, and I was moving in that angle, my lord. That's so there couldn't be any. And what should be noted, my lord, this is a witness. This is someone who's coming on, bringing in information to the police. Now, on what basis could I now take and say, no, tell me this and this? I didn't have the basis of that. It was a follow-up, but in that meeting, my lord, as I'm saying, and in fairness to Constable Zungu, there was then a Brigadier Perumal who had interest in the matter. We're together, and he may have asked, I just don't recall exactly what he said, but the purpose was this matter, my lord.
Kwakukhona ke uBrigadier Peruman njengoba ngishilo ke naye ke owayefisa ukwazi ke mayelana nodaba lolu ke uma kuwukuthi ke waphendula kanjalo ke uZungu mhlambe kungenzeka ukuthi waphendula kuyena ke uBrigadier Peruman. Kodwa mina ke njengoba ngishilo ke na ubhaliwe futhi ke nalaphayana ukuthi ke kwakunomhlangano kwakufanele ukuthi ke ube khona ke kodwa awuzange wenzeke ngalelo langa wase wenzeka kamuva ke. Mina ke ngangifisa nje noma ngifuna ukwazi mayelana nobaba wakhe ngoba ke weza ke nale information ukuthi ubaba wakhe ke unolwazi analo mayelana nalelo cala. Kwakunangu ufakazi uza kuthina ke neinformation. Mina ke ngangeke nje ukuthi ke bese ngithi kuyena ke ngitshela ukuthi wena wazini ngoba kuna information eze nayo.
So in essence, my lord, I'm saying if that was said, because the record speaks itself, perhaps there could have been a mistake in terms of who asked the question. Because like I said, Brigadier Perumal, as he was there, he had interest, he spoke to Constable Zungu, but insofar as my part is concerned, it's what I've testified about, it's the father, my lord.
Nanjengoba ke kubhaliwe ke khona lapha kwe record ke ngishilo ukuthi naye uBrigadier Peruman wayekhona ke naye ke futhi wayefisa ukwazi ke mayelana nalecala kusengenzeka ke ukuthi ke iphuthe lenze ukuthi ubani owabuza leyo mbuzo. Mina ke ukuba khona kwami lapha kwakumayelana nobaba wakhe.
Brigadier, unfortunately it doesn't end there. On the 7th of November, the same proceedings of the 7th of November 2023 at page 59 of the record, the following was said. I'll start at line 8 of the record. Mr. Baloyi, thank you. You mentioned a meeting that you had with Brigadier, sorry, may I start afresh? Thank you. You mentioned a meeting that you had regarding Brigadier Geninda. Were there any further meetings with him, Mr. Zungu? Except for the meeting at Telkom Towers. He came to me at Kempton Park, Mr. Maloyi. When was that? 13 November, Mr. Maloyi. Yes. Was he alone at that meeting, Mr. Zungu? He was not alone. He was in the company of another brigadier, Mr. Maloyi. Yes. Do you remember his name, Mr. Zungu? I remember the name. He introduced himself by the name Tony. That would be Brigadier Tony. Mr. Maloyi. Yes. What happened at that meeting, Mr. Zungu? They asked me about my knowledge as to what is it that I knew about this matter, Mr. Maloyi. Yes. Mr. Zungu. It is because there is nothing tangible which I knew except for which I have already alluded to. I then informed them that I did not know as to whether it was done or committed by them. I had no knowledge about it. Mr. Maloyi, yes. Mr. Zungu. After he said that he was going to conduct his own investigation, intervene, Mr. Maloyi. If you say you had no knowledge whether it was done by them, what do you mean, Mr. Zungu? That I would not tell lies to them and said that I had certainty that they are the ones that killed Meyiwa. Mr. Maloyi, yes. Who are they? Who are you referring to, Mr. Zungu, the suspect? Close quotation. So, Brigadier, this evidence by Zungu is raising its ugly head now and again. It was now on the second occasion that he tells you that, look, I suppose with his straight face, I don't know anything about this. What is your comment?
My Lord, I think first I think in fairness to me, this is evidence of Constable Zungu, and I think those issues really must be taken up with him if they must be dealt with at this length, because then it will be unfair for me to cast aspersions and say things, because the flow of the evidence in which he was asked, my Lord, in the cross-examination, I was not in court. So I think really that assertion is really, I think it will be unfair. There's one meeting that took place, my Lord, and this is not a second occasion. What I've heard, my Lord, refers to a meeting where Brigadier Perumal was involved. It's the meeting that I was in. The location of Kempton Park, it's the same meeting that I was in. So there's one meeting. It's not two different meetings. And the understanding that is given here now is two meetings, as if like there were two separate meetings. There was one meeting, my Lord. But in fairness, I cannot comment. This is not what I've led, my Lord. I've testified as to how it happened, and I think these matters, my Lord, should be dealt with Constable Zungu, because he was in court, and he's the one that can, I think, be best vested to deal with these queries, my Lord.
Ngaphambi kokuthi ngikufundeke lo daba ke lo kushiwo ke khona lapha ke kwakuwuZungu noma ke uZungu lo owayethula ubufakazi ke la ngangingekho ke mina ke manje ke kuyena ke umuntu ose ngakhuluma ke angazi ukuthi ke uma ehlonye imibuzo ukuthi lokho kwakwenzeka kanjani ukuthi mina ke sengingaphendula ke manje kuloko akushoyo noma ke okubhaliwe ke khona lokuthi wathini enkantolo. Futhi ke uma khulunywa ke ngayo ke eKempton Park yebo kunomhlangano owodwa ngoba manje sekuvela ke ngathi kwakunemhlangano emibili ke kukhulunywa ngeKempton Park yebo uwona lo mhlangano lo kwakukhona ke uBrigadier Perumal wawukho omunye umhlangano owawukhona ke lana uma ngeyi7 ngoba ke ummeli uthi ke akupheli agcine lapho ngeyi7 zika November 2023 ku page 59 ku line 8 ufakaza ngalendlela ke uConstable Zungu ushilo ke noma ukhulumile ngomhlangano owaba naye uBrigadier Geninda ngabe bakhona yayikhona yini eminye imihlangano kanye naye. Waphendula ke uZungu wathi ngaphandle komhlangano wase Telkom Towers weza kumina ke eCampton Park wakunini nge-13 zikaNovember. Yebo, wayehamba yedwa yini kuleyo mhlangano? Wayengahambi yedwa, wayehamba naye ke omunye ubrigadier. Uyalikhumbula igama lakhe? Ngiyalikhumbula igama. Uma ezethula wathi ke igama lakhe uTony. Kwenzekani kuleyo mhlangano leyo? Bangibuza ke mayelana nolwazi lwami ukuthi yini engangiyazi mayelana nalolu daba lolu. Kungenxa yokuthi ke kwakungekho okuphathekayo engangikwazi ngaphandle nje kwaloko engangisengibatshele kona ngaphambilini. Ngase ngibatshela ke ukuthi angangingazi ukuthi kwakuyibona yini abakwenza lokho, ngangingenalo lolo lwazi lolo. Emuva kwalokho wasesho ke ukuthi ke uzoqhubeka ke ngophenyo lwakhe yena. Uma uthi wawungenalo ulwazi ukuthi kwakuyibona, usho ukuthini? Ukuthi ngangeke ngitshele ngikhulume amanga kubona, ngisho ukuthi ngangazi ngesiqiniseko ukuthi yibona ababulala uMeyiwa. Uma uthi bona ukhuluma ngobani? Abasola.
I know counsel has got the prerogative of how he wants to conduct his cross-examination, but we submit, my lord, that quoting just certain portions of a witness evidence without referring to the totality of the evidence, that might give a very skewed picture of that witness evidence, because on page 60, Constable Zungu then goes on to elaborate as to what he means, precisely on the issues that are now raised by counsel. And I don't know if he's still going to get to page 60, but the issues that he's asking Brigadier Guinin about are answered by the same witness on page 60. And I think it's important that the entirety of his evidence be put to the witness.
My colleague, my note is referring me to, or the court, to page 60. I'm not too sure which line in page 60 is he referring to.
Yes. It's page 60, line 15, my lord. And he says, but thereafter I had my knowledge when I was now certain that indeed it was them. And he says from accused 1 to 5, and he says, because of the incident that happened on the day when I was there. And he then relates as to what the incident was, my lord. And he continues up to page 61.
My lord, I was quoting the passage of the record that I'm interested in. That is going to assist me in arguing the case on behalf of the accused. That is accused number 4 before court. Obviously, the witness, my lord, was talking about the events of the 26th of October, 2014, where he says on 2 occasions he met Brigadier Kininda and informed Brigadier Kininda that I don't know nothing about this case.
You know that evidence, you can quote whatever you want. Because it depends on the interpretation. And as a lawyer, I know nothing about this case.
Yes.
It can mean anything. I wasn't there when this happened. And if you like, you can interpret to mean that he didn't know anything.
Yes.
But somebody says, I know nothing. It can mean I wasn't there when this thing happened.
Yes.
That's why maybe he goes on to page 60. He talks about other things. I don't know.
Because the way I understood his assertion was in relation to to him having met the accused at the hostel. He says, I don't know anything about the meeting
Yeah,
with the accused.
just saying.
That's how I interpret the whole thing.
Yeah, you're okay.
Yes,
That's why the brigadier says he had a meeting with him subsequently. Is that so,
Yes.
sir?
That's correct, my lord.
I mean, so, and I don't know if Gininda denies, I mean, this guy, Zungu. I don't know if Zungu denies that he never ever met with the brigadier. Because the brigadier says his father, Zungu's father, made a statement. So it's not yes or no, or yes or no, or yes or no.
my lord, at page 44, I'm sorry that I have to dwell on
No,
this.
no, you can
Just-
go on. I don't
can
want to
go on.
interrupt you.
Yes,
Go on. I'm
Yes.
just saying.
yes. No, it's in relation to the interpretation. my lord.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can argue that later.
Yes, these are matters for argument.
Yeah,
yes,
fine.
Yes. My lord, I see now it is, it's not that I'm running away from proceeding with my cross-examination. I see it is 13:20. You are already
Oh, yeah, by the way.
through lunch. May I proceed because I'm not about to finish, my lord.
Yeah, fine, I
Yes.
understand.
Yes,
So are we adjourning because of the
yes,
meeting he's got to attend?
yes.
That's so, sir?
That is indeed correct, my lord. We are pushing for, before people go and leave, to make sure that we shortlist and we interview people. Otherwise, the positions will be taken back, my lord.
Okay, fine. Okay. So we'll adjourn until tomorrow. Okay.